In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
You idiot.
Dang it, I should have.
What a moron.
It's a cool shirt,
Yeah.
too. I wore it on this podcast like 60 episodes ago.
Yeah, well, this would be the one.
I know it would have been.
The
fucked up.
Spider-Man. Yeah, the...
Royally. But, I mean, what's new? What's new? Man,
You're not a smart man. No.
fresh off this.
Right off it, man. We are hot off this. We were just steaming. I still feel the moisture of that movie theater. I still feel
In the elementals, too.
Yes,
you feel
absolutely,
the water guy?
man. I
Yeah,
did.
Definitely. Well, what are we here to talk about today?
Well, of course. What else? What else is there? What else comes out on a Tuesday, July 2nd?
I think this is the only movie that comes out officially on a Tuesday.
Odd day to have the movie come out.
But
I
also
get
the-
that
but
you
also
have
the
to-
smartest.
You got to do it for the 4th of July. But not a lot of people are in our theater.
Yeah, but there were more than I thought. Because it is a Tuesday at 2:40. Everyone's working.
You
man.
made it sound like it was going to be fucking packed when you bought the tickets.
Well, there were a lot of pre-sales, so I was a
jackass.
little concerned.
Yeah,
okay?
even going in there, you're like, it's going to be packed. It's going to be
I thought it was. I thought everyone was going to be there, but
Well,
then,
what-
Then you realize it's like 2:40 on Tuesday.
Well, are you going to tell us what movie it is?
Yeah. Well, I originally asked you. But
Oh, yeah,
you
that's
could,
right.
You could rebuttal back to me. I will. I will tell you. We are reviewing Spider-Man: Far From Home,
Far
the
From
second
Home.
Tom Holland starring
Yes.
Spider-Man.
The sequel, kind of the sequel to Homecoming, but really the sequel to
Avengers.
Avengers
Yeah,
Endgame,
Endgame.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
And the closing movie of Phase 3. Closing out on this bad boy.
And they had they answered a lot of questions that a lot of fans had about how this movie was going to turn out. And I thought they did a good job answering all of them.
They answered a lot of questions of how them disappearing was going to
How
work
it
out.
worked,
And I
yeah.
still have some questions about that.
You do?
Oh, for sure, man.
Oh, I thought it was funny.
No, it's
Like-
it's funny,
like the
but
one kid, he's actually 16. You know, those moments. were
yeah.
really
Oh,
funny.
yeah, that was funny. But I have some questions. I'm like, what if there was like a pilot that disappeared? Where's he coming back to? Is he just going to be flying through
Back
the
in
air?
plan. Yeah, good point. Yeah, because all the high scores
They came
returned in
exactly
high school.
where they were. Yeah. So I mean, and
Yeah,
what
so
if
what
like the
does a pilot do?
surgeons and
Well,
like all
tough
those
luck, dude.
people?
You're 35,000 feet up in the air. You're falling straight down.
Yeah,
when
I
you
bet
get
a
back.
lot of people were right falling. Because what about all the
Yeah.
people on the planes? Every
That
person
all
on the plane.
disappeared. Yeah, terrible timing. Just a bad
Just
time
a
to go.
bloodbath.
Yeah, it
Just
is.
people
Raining
raining
down.
As soon as you think you got your loved ones back, you see
Yeah.
grandma come.
I can
from
just
flying
hear
down
"Raining
30,000
Blood"
feet.
by Slayer as all these bodies fall and hit the ground.
Yeah, so
It's
they didn't
sad.
show the tough
tough
parts.
reality of it. Yeah, the fact
They
that there
showed
were
maybe a
some
little
people who
more
actually
fun.
died.
Yeah, no. You just better hope you were on the ground,
You wanted to. You wanted
and
to.
you better hope you weren't doing anything important at the time.
And I swear, if this shit happens when I'm on a plane tomorrow,
It's bad luck, to be honest with you.
yeah,
But
I'm bringing a.
how many people are in a plane, or how many people are in the air at one time?
About 150 on average in planes.
Yeah, no, I'm saying at one time in the world, how many people are in the air at one time?
Whew, probably 100,000.
Hundreds of thousands,
Yeah.
I would guess. Oh yeah, for sure.
A lot of people at
Yeah.
one time.
Oh yeah, around the world.
They're traveling. Think about how many planes. There's probably hundreds and thousands of planes.
And those sky buses sit a lot more than 150.
well, I just meant average. Like
Yeah.
my plane was 160.
Yeah, which
something.
that's on the small side. If you're on like New York or London or something, you're on a
You're on a huge
a
plane.
bus. Yeah. So man, then that must have been rough.
RIP to
not
those
show
souls,
yeah.
because they're never coming back.
No, they're not. No, they're not, unfortunately. But yeah. So, but it does answer some questions. They call it the blip in this.
The blip.
Is then that's what they call is everyone coming back and everything. And they explain how when everyone come back, they didn't age or anything, except Happy somehow grew a beard.
It's the blip beard. Remember?
Yeah, how did he grow a beard?
Dude, I don't know.
And didn't that one kid go in the blip and come out like jacked? Like really big and
Yeah, he
buff?
was 5 years older. Yeah, the Asian guy.
Oh, but I could have sworn they said that guy went into the blip. I thought they said he disappeared and he came back and he was huge. Maybe not, but somehow you don't age or anything. But some people grow beards, I guess. Happy grew a blip beard, and and I'm still very uncomfortable about Aunt May being super hot.
Bro, super hot in those jeans.
Yeah, those
were
mom
killing
jeans,
me.
my guy.
But in the best
I
way.
know
In
exactly
the
the
best way.
scene you're talking. Yeah.
And those bell-bottom jeans at the end, too.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, this is ass-tastic.
This is
I
not.
gotta say, this is... Aunt May is a little too...
Aunt May got so progressively hotter throughout
I
the
know.
movies. She went from being 98 years old
Mhm.
in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man to, okay, she's getting a little younger. She was played, I can't remember who she was played in the really shitty Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I can't
You
remember
mean the
who she-
amazingly terrible Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones?
She was getting a little younger there. Now she's just Marissa Tomei, just unbelievable, just a 10. Are you kidding me?
She is a 10.
And Happy's gonna get on that.
Happy is
Happy's
getting-
tapping
he's a
that
very happy
ass.
man. Yes, he is.
There's the reason they call him Happy.
And she was just like, yo, this is a summer fling. But he wanted more. But
No.
how do you not want more with Aunt May? Seems like a great person.
It's
An
weird,
all-around
man.
nice woman.
It's the hottest
I mean,
Aunt
she
May.
was thrown on that fundraiser for the homeless.
She's a great lady.
great person.
She's a great lady. Well, that's what
You're getting quite the
yeah.
package there.
Oh, you're getting it all. Yeah, she's just a great person. She was in the blip too. She didn't age a day.
No, she did not. They
Yeah.
might have reversed that one.
This is the hottest Aunt May in any rendition of Spider-Man ever.
This
I
is
mean, I
the
don't know what
hottest
they're
Aunt
doing
May
here.
superhero movie of all time.
Yeah, answer. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Spider-Man's having a tough time.
He is.
He's got to have a tough time. His friends got to be giving him shit.
all the time. All
Yeah.
the time. Well, that one kid did in the film, didn't he?
Flash?
Yeah, Flash. yeah.
always
he always gives him.
He always gives him shit. But yeah. So what do you think, Mace? Going into this, we didn't know anything really going into this.
No, and
we
you
didn't
know
know the reviews or anything yet.
I got to be honest with you. Like, I had totally, just because of the whole Avengers Endgame, I kind of forgot about it. I kind of forgot about the fact that it was coming out in July. It wasn't a huge movie on my radar because there's so many good movies. I think Midsommar was more on our radar than this movie. You know,
man,
so
yeah, it's hard to be the follow up. It's like closing for like Michael Jackson or something like that. Like, well, what am I supposed to do now? Yeah, like
Yeah.
I gotta close for him
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. So you really
Bill Burr comes up on stage. You got to follow that guy. Good
yeah,
luck.
yeah. I mean, you don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you never want to follow. But as a movie that's supposed to be following the biggest Avengers or superhero event of all time, I thought this did a pretty good job following that. I mean,
So do I. And they did
it's gonna be tough to compare, but
right.
yeah.
But they did a completely different take on the villain and the tools of the villain. It wasn't your conventional villain.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool. I really liked this. And I was thinking the whole time, I was like, someday that could be a reality. You
Yeah,
know?
far. I mean, the technology is so advanced in this. And,
It's
I mean,
pretty advanced,
Even
But
Spider-Man,
you would be shocked,
even
man,
Spider-Man's
when me
suit.
and you turn 70, 80 years old if we're still here.
Well, that's 40. That's 40
It could
years
happen.
off, man. I'm not really worried about that at that point. If I'm
Well, no, neither
70,
am I.
let a fucking android come and take me out.
Yeah, but we'll live till we're 150.
Not I.
What do you mean?
I don't want to fucking live that long.
Why the fuck not?
Bro, you're not having a good life at 150.
With medical
No one is.
With medical advancements, you're trying to tell me you're not going to
No.
have a good time.
I'm guessing 150
What-
our
what-
time
okay.
is the 100 their time.
Hear me out. You're
Never.
sitting in a chair
Don't
at
wanna.
150.
Nope.
You're on life support, but they have virtual reality that is the exact
So you're not
same
living.
sensations
So
of everything else.
You're not living.
I don't care. Keep me on
You
life
might as well be
support.
dead.
No, I don't want to be okay, just see black or not even see black, just black.
Well, I guess
it.
it depends on what you believe.
Well,
Yes.
I guess that's true as well. But I mean,
No, man.
conventionally thinking
I
death.
don't want to be plugged into a machine like a fucking TV. No. What's
so
the
you're
point?
not all for Black Mirror, that episode, that crazy futuristic?
It's a Black Mirror episode, man. I think you're missing the point.
No, I'm not. These are realities that will happen one day. It
You're the
might not
kind of
be in our
person. You're the kind of
lifetime, but
person
it will
that's
happen.
that's watching Black Mirror, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, I can't wait for that. And that's the
When's that coming
opposite
out?
of what.
2023. I can't wait for
And
that.
that is the opposite of the message
Yeah.
Black Mirror's trying to send you.
Well,
I think they just went over. I think you're not getting it.
apparently I'm not getting the.
You're the only
bigger
ones like,
picture.
this is sci-fi. This is the utopia we've been waiting for. If you haven't realized in Black Mirror, they're fucking miserable. Always. even
Yes,
though
because it
how
always turns bad,
technology,
'cause it shows you the bad side
Yeah.
of technology. But there's a lot of good. There's a lot of good things, and one of them would be a Ready Player One.
Well, yeah, that would be.
That's what I'm talking about, though. Hooked up, and then you're
Yeah, but their
living
lives
life.
are horrible, even in Ready Player One.
Yeah, well, that's only because
he lives in like a double wide tower.
He does. It's
a
not
large
great living, but
no,
but that's what I'm saying is he has fun in virtual reality, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah, but you got to come out of virtual reality at some time, man.
Oh, I don't know. That's why I won't do it until it gets super good, because I'm probably not coming out. I'm just letting you guys. I'm just letting everyone know
It's
right
pretty
now.
good. It's pretty good now.
That's what I've heard. I've never tried it.
I only ever tried it once. And
Was it good?
It was good. It was cool. The game I played was cool, but that was a while ago, and I haven't. But yeah, it's. I mean, it's not Ready Player One, and I think we're not even close. We're way off. I mean, just Ready Player One is kind of very sci-fi, but entire worlds like that, man, we can't even get it right with video games right now. But yeah, man, 150. I don't know about that. That is decrepit old. That's like I don't even want to look at you right now. You're so goddamn old. You're like the Wayland Yutani or whatever his name is from the Aliens, the new Aliens. You know, the really old guy.
Alien Covenant.
Yeah, Alien Covenant.
Oh,
Remember when
yeah.
he ships himself up in space with them, and they?
Mm.
Oh, that's no Prometheus is when he goes into space. And he just gets a shit beat out by the alien because he thinks he's gonna be like make him a superhuman or whatever.
Yeah.
But remember that
Superhuman,
guy's
yeah.
like 400 years old, and he's horrible looking.
Not
Not good, man. He's just skin and bone.
But who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know where. Oh yeah, because of the drones and the technology.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, so I like that aspect of the villain. See, we're getting back on track.
So
We-
you
we're
like
really
you like Jake Gyllenhaal in this?
Okay, look, you know me, I'm a huge Jake Gyllenhaal fan, one of
Oh,
the best.
yeah.
But I was very leery about him playing a supervillain. I was like, man, I don't know if I want to see him as a villain. I liked it a lot. He was very relatable to Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Like he had a good relationship with him. And then I was starting to think, when is this dude gonna get bad?
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, what? He seems like a good all around good guy. And then I'm like, how is this gonna tie in? I didn't see that coming.
Well, it wasn't.
So-
He wasn't all super bad. I mean, that's why I think we're seeing more and more villains now. They're all more and more relatable. You know, they're never that one-sided,
One-sided
straight up
coin,
bad guy.
yeah.
You know, they always have some kind of. But yeah, he was. But yeah, if you know anything about Mysterio, I think everyone going into this knew that he was going to be the bad guy.
Well,
I mean, at
obviously,
one
he's
point,
Mysterio,
at
yeah.
one point, he's
But
going to.
I was just questioning how
Yeah,
that
same.
would take
Yeah.
place. You know?
And they did it in a very cool and awesome way.
yeah, definitely.
That scene with the whole VR when he's fighting,
Mm-hmm.
when Mysterio's fighting Spider-Man, it was awesome, man. It reminded me of the Doctor Strange scene when he's flying through space or whatever when they're first giving him the powers and whatnot. That was a really awesome scene.
I really like the bar scene, especially with the sunglasses.
I like the bar scene, but I like that scene. I like what happened after that when he's going through and telling how.
Yeah, and telling everyone. Yeah, that's what I'm
So
talking about. They were
funny.
still in the virtual bar, but yeah, because he got on top of the counter and started talking.
No,
to
by
him,
then everything was shut off. It was some
right, but
shitty
yeah,
factory, whatever.
factory.
Yeah. Oh man, I fucking
was awesome.
loved it. When he's like,
and they did some really
to
good
Janice.
callbacks too.
Yeah.
The one guy from Iron Man, it was either 2 or 3.
No, that's the first Iron Man.
Is the very first
Yeah,
one?
that's the first Iron Man. That's with old Jebediah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
uh-huh. But yeah, that's first. But yeah, I love that scene too when he's explaining how he named it Barf.
Yeah.
And then
He's
zooms
like-
out and Gyllenhaal's
yeah.
face like mother. Yeah, he's so
like,
mad.
he named my life's work Barf.
Zooms out and he's right there, like they brought him on stage, and he had no idea.
No,
Zero idea. They're just embarrassed. That's
God.
hilarious.
Tony Stark and his acronyms.
Yeah, and he just.
And you know he
zooms
did
out.
it out of spite for that guy too, because he said he was talented, but he didn't have the whatever potential.
Yeah, he said he was kind of vain or whatever. Like yeah, I mean it's cool. It's very cool technology.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't see much besides if you are gonna like make a video game or whatever. I don't see how it's gonna help the world much.
Yeah, no, neither do I.
He seemed like he wanted to help. I mean, he kind of that's what he was going for, but obviously that's not what he really wanted.
No.
He was just jealous, right? There was all these kind of. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
Let's open it up. In Mexico, Nick Fury and Maria Hill. We've seen them before.
Yes.
It's Maria
Tag
Hill,
team.
played by Colby Smulders from How I Met Your Mother.
Ooh.
Yeah. They encounter a storm, which is revealed to be the Earth Elemental.
And he kind of looked like Fantastic Four a little bit.
Who? Oh yeah, the Thing.
The Thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a big guy though.
Big
He's a
rock
big
guy.
rock
Yeah, way
monster.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah. 50, 60 feet up.
And a superpowered man, Quentin Beck, arrives to fight the creature and he kicks his ass, right? And he's super cool looking, man. He's got great hair. He
Yeah.
comes in, Quinn back. He's
Well, he
flying
shows up right
around.
away and he goes, "I wouldn't do that."
Yeah.
To Nick and what's her name?
Maria Hill.
Maria
Nice,
Hill,
yeah. But yeah, and he comes in because Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury, he's like, I heard they said there's a storm here because the storm wiped out this entire city, and they're saying that the storm had a face or whatever like that, and the city really is destroyed. And then even Maria Hill, she says, well, what are the odds? And you'll see anything. And he immediately just fucking shows up. It's so easy when you're S.H.I.E.L.D. Superheroes find you.
Yes, they do. You're like
You don't
a
even go out of
magnet
your
for
way.
superheroes.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It is.
Crazy. But yeah, so he kills that rock monster or whatever pretty easily. And then we go back to New York City, Midtown High School. And this is where we get the blip. And I like the really shitty high school PowerPoint that they made for in memoriam.
But I love that's what I had to bring up because I love the opening, right? To the Marvel opening.
Yeah.
I Will Always Love You.
Yeah.
But that was a good moment because like that whole moment there, it was like I felt like it was kind of a thing towards Stan Lee, towards Robert Downey Jr., towards Chris Evans, kind of like a thank you thing. And then it goes in memoriam. And I'm like,
I just thought it was.
I
thought it was an over dramatic. Yeah. Right when I started hearing it, I'm like, oh, this got to be some kind of. I thought it was an over dramatic. I thought that is what they were going to go into was a memoriam because, I mean, playing that song, you knew it was going to be something really sappy and stupid. And it's such a high school thing, yeah.
And then the pictures too were so over the top, like. And
then the Getty images, they just ripped it off the internet.
Yeah.
It was just a super high school. They did a really good job of doing a high school PowerPoint of everyone, but it did, and it was a way of showing everyone that died, kind of catch people up. And it was Captain America, who we know didn't really die.
No,
Iron Man died.
Black
Widow.
I think the public thought Captain America.
They
died.
do, yeah.
That's
Well,
why
we know as an audience that he didn't die. No one else knows that he's alive, except for Falcon, right?
Of course,
yeah. But and showing them and showing how everyone comes back and they all come back right where they disappeared and they're all so everyone else is 5 years older and I don't like the guy. He's like, yeah, man, my little brother.
Now he's my
like
older
5,
brother.
Yeah. And I love that kept zooming in on the guy's face and he's just like couldn't believe it. He's like doing the math.
I know and then she's like, it's math.
Yeah, and
she was getting mad.
He was
she's
just
like
baffled. I know he was so pissed off. But yeah, I really like that. They did a good job of showing the high school and everything.
That chemistry was good between those two too. The which that guy was in
Betty.
the first one. The boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, which that was the only scene he was in, and then that was it. He was done after that.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird.
Well, it didn't show much of
around?
the high school after that. I mean, it was just those core little kids. I mean, the kids that went to the science thing.
Well, yeah, but the girl went.
Yeah,
that blonde girl went.
Yeah, but she's like an A student. I get the
vibe. Yeah,
I get the vibe that kid isn't too bright. Yeah, because it was kind of.
Well, he cursed on air too.
Like, and it was a science like field trip that all like the best kids in the science class went to. Yeah, so it wasn't just fucking everyone.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna guess that kid probably science it wasn't his. Because the 5-year math really got him. I mean, he was really confused about that. Yeah, but yeah, and that's what we get. We get that they're all going on this trip to Europe, right? The science trip, and I don't know what did any of it have to do with science?
If anything, I would figure historical students.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I
Venice,
thought they were history,
Italy,
but it's a science school. I mean, it's Midtown School of Science and Technology. So I don't understand where the science was coming. It just seemed like a cool trip. I mean. They didn't go to one. Like they didn't go to like an OMSI or anything. They didn't go to a museum. I mean, they went to the opera one night.
Well, only because Tom Holland, Spider-Man, bought him.
But they were gonna go to the fucking carnival. Besides that, so I mean, where's the science coming in?
Well, they snuck out to go to the carnival. I don't think they were going before, were they?
Yeah, they were all in the fucking
and that's when the
rave
teacher came
gear.
out.
Yeah, they were all raved out.
Real quick, we got to talk about that teacher.
Martin Starr,
was awesome.
Martin Starr, man,
He
Martin
was
Starr,
hilarious.
yeah.
That was such a good role. Like he had me laughing so many times.
Well, him and JB Smoove both did a really good job.
Their chemistry together was awesome. He's like trying to play kind of the cool teacher while Martin was like
just really nervous. Yeah. Martin
Dude,
playing Martin Starr just a
some of
straight
those,
Martin,
yeah, some of those scenes were just awesome with him talking about his wife.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was really and it was kind of weren't we kind of joking about like people could have pretended like they blipped or whatever just to get his
And
wife
then his
did
wife
it.
actually did it.
He's like, well, the funeral was
Left-
real.
Left me for some guy hiking.
Yeah,
on
one of
her-
her hiking group. The funeral was real, but of course she was still They just
And
explaining
it's so sad and tragic too, because it's like he thought his wife died.
that whole fucking scene where Peter was trying to move scenes with to get closer to Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Why was he moving so many other people?
I have
around?
no idea.
He did the weirdest movement where he moved like half the plane, and
I think just to get around to the joke
Yeah,
of
of
like
course,
the
yeah.
one guy you didn't want sitting next to your girl is Brad, and that's exactly what happened.
And the one guy you don't want to sit next to is your fucking teacher on the trip. I've had to do that before.
Have you?
Getting in trouble, and now you got to go sit next to the teacher on a field trip or something. Blows, man. It sucks. Because teachers, they don't talk at all. It just seems like they're just dead inside.
Wow.
There's nothing going on. Fortunately, that's the world we live in.
I,
They're not treated right.
I gotta say, I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
You don't agree they're not treated right?
Well, no, I don't agree that they're dead inside. I mean,
Oh,
at least
man.
you know.
Look at JB Smooth on the second he got on that plane. He was trying to take that Ambien.
Yeah, that is true.
Come on,
was.
man.
He was trying to go to bed.
These teachers were
Trying to sleep for a
yeah,
little while.
yeah. He didn't want to do
To be
anything.
fair,
to
it
do
was a
with those kids.
9-hour flight. I would take one.
That is true. But when you got to watch them kids, you got to take
That's
some
true. You gotta have some
responsibility. JB.
responsibility. Yeah, you
Come
can't.
on now, you
I mean, if
gotta
he's
be-
taking Ambien, what else is he doing in over in Europe? You know,
Oh,
while watching the kids.
you don't
I
want to
wanna
know,
get
my
into
guy.
it.
You
It's a
don't even want
Spider-Man
to know.
movie. It's a family.
It's
family friend movie.
JB
I
Smooth
don't
we're
wanna-
talking
Yeah, I
about. This
know.
guy, I mean, he gets around. But yeah.
Yeah.
So they're taking a 2-week summer field trip to Europe, and Peter, and already right off the bat we get that Peter is just, I mean, he's still kind of mourning because of Tony, you know.
And he can't get away from his image.
Well, yeah,
Anywhere.
and everyone is fucking comparing him to Iron Man. I mean, that's
The
tough.
reporters
Yeah.
at the homeless thing.
Everyone's just
yeah.
assuming that he's going to take on this role, and he's fucking 16.
I was like, take it easy,
Yeah.
everyone.
Even Tony Stark had a childhood. He was able to be a teenager. He didn't just become Iron Man when he was 15.
yeah, no.
So he had a little time to party
Develop?
and everything. Yeah, I know.
as a human.
Yeah, but everyone is just fucking.
I know, and Nick Fury's having none of that shit either. He's like, I don't care. This is the role you signed up
Well,
for.
what we think is
Is
Nick
Nick
Fury.
Fury.
Yeah. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that whole thing too, and that is not a conspiracy.
But he's really distraught over Tony's death, right? And he confesses, and and this whole trip he's gonna go and he's gonna confess his love to old MJ. Gotta do it.
You have to. On
Gotta
that
make that
flight
connection.
too, one last thing on the flight I really liked was he was going streaming. You know, like the modern day version of Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
but in their world. And there were documentaries about Captain America and Iron Man.
Well,
and
that's
stuff. I was
what we
like,
see
That's
is,
so
like,
cool
yeah,
because
it-
that's actually what would happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we see like in this world, it's not just like it's movies. It's everywhere
Everything
and
we
everywhere he goes, and it's like posters and everything are all about Iron Man and like memorials. Because
And
even
it's
when
so
he
true,
leaves,
though, because that's exactly what would happen here if that.
oh
were
yeah,
the case.
absolutely. And it makes it even harder, especially if you're fucking mourning and everywhere you turn, you're seeing Iron Man or Tony Stark's face. Makes it tough.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make you want to leave the house very much.
No.
But yeah, and his plan is he's gonna leave the Spidey suit and he's just gonna take a vacation, which I say he deserves vacation.
I would say saving the
God
world
blipped.
qualifies you for vacation.
Got blipped. He came back, had to immediately fucking suit up. Didn't even get time to do anything else.
Or process anything.
No, immediately they said, "All right, get in there." Like,
All right,
where
your
have
turn,
I
cowboy.
been for the last 5 years? Yeah, give me
hell
some
is
time.
happening?
Let me register.
It's like the iPhone 14. What? I thought we were on the 8.
Oh man, but yeah, so he doesn't get any time, and he's not gonna become Spider-Man. His Aunt May's not making it easy on him. She's sneaking in the fucking
Suit.
yeah. Jesus,
Customs.
Aunt May, get the hint.
I know.
I don't want to be
I
Spider-Man.
know, and of course his bag gets searched too. And they find the costume, which
Yeah.
ruins the whole movie because they locked him up.
They did, and they confessed right
And
there
that was
that
it.
Peter Parker was
That's
Spider-Man.
Peter Parker.
No, they didn't give a fuck about that. They're in New York.
They
They
cared
got
about the
no
banana.
idea what's going on. Yeah, you can't.
Can't bring
You
that
can't
banana
travel
on.
for it. It's
No.
against the law.
It is.
Such yeah.
It actually is.
I know.
It's
No,
actually
you're not
more-
allowed to bring fruit across state lines.
No, it's way more serious than what they made that out to be.
It's
That's actually
so-
punishable.
by death.
By death. They execute you in places.
So weird. What a world we live in.
Yeah, strange times.
It's so crazy. You're really not, though. I mean, you can't, I can't bring a bundle of oranges across fucking Nevada to California. They'll fucking put your ass away.
They will. They'll make you pay.
You
for
were
it,
doing
too.
time at old Quinn. Yeah, it's San Quinn. You gotta eat those oranges.
You do.
You gotta smuggle them. Put them in the old prison wallet.
You know,
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying.
the
You're going to Vegas. I
circumference-
know what
Yeah,
you're figuring out.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
I know
what's
you were
going
doing
down.
the quick math when you saw that scene. Like, could I fit? How many bananas could I fit?
On my trip to Vegas.
Gotta get my bananas. You gotta
Gotta
get
do it.
potassium down
You have
there. It's
to.
hot too. You don't want to cramp up.
No, that's
You
the
don't
worst.
wanna-
You're walking.
Look
down
at NFL players. They're eating bananas on the sidelines all the time. Look at them.
Yep.
Potassium's great for it.
It is.
And that's the message we try to send out.
Each and every
Get your
week.
potassium,
Get your
people.
potassium in your body. Your electrolytes, all that
You're
good
gonna
stuff.
need it. You're
Look,
gonna need. Take care of yourself.
Take care. Exactly. Because you are looking at two physical human specimens right now. We know how to take care of ourselves.
Absolutely. We're in peak physical shape.
Yeah. There's not anyone that can touch us.
But so they go and and at this time we talked about it a little, but we get to feeling old Happy's kind of down without May.
Oh, kind of down? He's
Yeah.
down.
Down.
This
which
guy's down.
is-
And he's not making any bones about it, too. He's doing a terrible job of hiding it.
No, he's just popping up at places like he's I mean it's
like,
it's
"Hey, I'm
odd.
here."
Yeah, like, are you? It's obvious, all right. I mean,
Definitely.
you're having sex with the man's aunt. You gotta just come. You gotta just come.
You
out
got to
with it.
shoot him straight, too.
But
I
man,
mean,
for
that might
Happy,
be running
Happy's gotta be
crazy,
proud.
but,
Banging Spider-Man's aunt.
Man. Spider-Man,
knows?
yeah.
I wonder if Happy goes around banging every superhero's aunt.
I would hope not. I think that'd be against
Nick
code of
Fury's
ethics.
aunt?
No.
You th-
That man's putting a bullet between your eyes. You do something like that.
Fucking Captain America's aunt's got to be ancient.
Yeah. She was
So-
in the Civil War era.
So they go
No, she really
and they land in Venice, Italy. That is their first destination. And during the trip, Parker and his friends are among the attacked by. And we say that what old Mysterio is calling? He's saying it's the elements.
Yeah, the elementals,
Yeah,
right?
elementals,
Yeah.
right? Which is a real villain in Spider-Man comics or any comics. They're real baddies, but we find out in this one it's not the
They
case.
used them.
Yeah, unfortunately, but we'll get them eventually, I guarantee it. But yeah, so they get attacked by the water element, and that's a tough place to be attacked. Because in Venice, a lot of water.
There's a lot of water
It's
and
it's
a
the
lot of
water
buildings.
city. It's
Right.
the water city.
If you're going to plan an attack anywhere, I would say this over,
Yeah. And did it ever go into why they were attacking these specific places?
Nope.
I mean,
Just shoot you straight there. I know. I don't think it did. I do not remember anything.
I don't remember. I mean, it had to have been for a reason, but I'm just thinking. I don't really understand why. I mean, it was convenient.
I don't. Yeah. Maybe just because it was Venice. Maybe it was because it was a popular joint.
Yeah, it's a
It
good
was
place
weird.
to go, I guess.
Yeah, because Mysterio didn't know.
But I think maybe it was this. Is maybe he was. He knew he had to go somewhere where the Avengers weren't. Because you attack America, you got every fucking Avenger there.
Very true.
Yeah.
And remember, Spider-Man couldn't show himself in Europe. They had
Yeah.
to give him.
So
Night
maybe,
Monkey.
maybe he did. He had to. So maybe that is why. Because you don't. Because his whole. I mean, we'll get into it, but we'll figure. It explains his whole plan and everything. So, but maybe that was because if you did attack in America, you got to think that you're risking another Avengers coming.
Yes.
And taking over. But yeah, so they get attacked in Venice by this cool fucking water monster. The effects were good, I thought.
I thought they were great.
Yeah.
I really did. I
Water's
thought
tough to do.
It's very tough to do. And I thought this whole movie looked really good.
Oh yeah, I mean that's one thing that they're gonna do good is the fucking effects. I mean we can always count on that. They got a lot of money.
Yes,
Those
they do.
Disney folks.
They do.
But
The
yeah,
budget was not nearly as much as I thought it was going to be, though. I would have estimated like a 240, 250 with how much CGI there was and how good it looked. But this came in at 160 million.
do you know how much it's made?
Well, I mean, I do because I see it, but I wouldn't have guessed.
That's insane, right?
That's a lot of money on a Tuesday.
That's a day. That's
Yeah,
one day.
that's one day.
That's a lot. That's probably how much you would expect over a weekend.
Mhm. Well, probably not over a weekend. They're probably wishing for at least 200 million on a weekend.
Yeah. What was the movie though that they were just? That was disappointing. That had a bad box office, and they thought it was going to be way more. Oh, it was Toy Story, wasn't it? And Toy Story,
Yes.
they thought was going to make a
Yeah,
lot more money than it didn't.
Yeah, on opening weekend.
they even
but it
kinda
was only-
lowballed it,
They
too.
did. They did. I'm very curious to see where Toy Story stands now, but that's for another podcast. I'll
Yeah.
check later.
Oh, for sure. But so they get attacked by, and who comes flying in right at the perfect time? Old
Of course,
fucking-
Mysterio.
yeah, Mysterio.
Jake Gyllenhaal himself.
Yeah, the man. And they both kind of, well, Peter, because Peter doesn't have a suit, or he doesn't think he has a suit, he tries to help. He kind of tries to prevent this tower from crashing.
Yes.
Doesn't do a great job of it.
And he's got a backpack on. He's in civilian clothing completely.
He
and
is.
man, I got to bring up the CGI. I thought that was the best CGI. It looks so realistic. Him running on those things, I could. And
Yeah, it
him
looked good.
swinging, I
Yeah,
was
it
like,
looked
dude,
good,
this. Because I always look for the little, like when he's swinging, how it, it looks CGI. It didn't look CGI. I was like, man, that looks really good. That actually looks like he's doing it.
Yeah, it
I
does
was
look
very
pretty
shocked
good. Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, the whole movie looked awesome. Yeah, but yeah, I like the part where he's in the tower too, and he hits his head multiple times on the bell.
That's funny.
The
Good
classic
comedy.
slapstick comedy. You can't get wrong with that. But yeah, that whole scene was awesome. The water monster looked awesome, and just it destroying buildings and stuff, and just the way the water moved around the building, it was super just fucking
And you
realistic.
can tell they used real water too.
Yeah,
in,
it looked,
in different
yeah.
spots, and they kind of mixed it together. It looked good.
Looked good, looked awesome. And well, eventually, Mysterio, he kills the elemental without really Peter's help at all, right? He doesn't do much.
Mm-mm.
No. But again, Peter does not want to do anything on this trip. He just wants to just chill,
Yeah, just have a good time.
Yeah.
Just relax.
Oh, we didn't talk about Ned and how Ned was talking about how he wanted to be a bachelor the entire time, and then when the one trip he immediately gets a girlfriend, and I loved
this is the funniest thing too, because he literally was trying to help Peter Parker sit next to MJ, and then out of that he sat next to the girl that became his girlfriend when he was telling Peter Parker that he just wanted to do the bachelor's trip.
Yeah,
so funny. So he
and I really liked that ongoing joke of them two together, because they were like an old married couple.
Oh,
just
they're the
stupid
perfect
shit they were
newlywed
doing.
couple where it's like, I miss you more,
And
when
it's
they're
so
texting
because
right
when the
next to each
water
other.
monster attacks, you see them in a boat, and when it popped in, they were like holding hands. Like, this is so stupid,
So funny,
so
dude.
cheesy.
It's
Yeah,
great.
but yeah. So Mysterio, he kills the water monster, and eventually Spider-Man ends up meeting up with Nick Fury, right, in that little tunnel part where he shows Dimitri, and Dimitri's some like badass guy or something. Ends up
His
having to
file's
be the
sealed.
boss. Yeah,
It's encrypted even
It's
with
encrypted. Yeah, he's
even with Edith.
yeah. Well, and that guy could be a many people, because Dimitri in Spider-Man comic books, I think that's the name of the chameleon. And there's a lot of other people named Dimitri too, so it could be anyone. But yeah, so and Nick Fury kind of tells him that what's going on, and they meet. They actually meet for the first time officially. Mysterio meets Peter, and they got a cool connection, because
right away. Because I mean,
Gyllenhaal, he's awesome.
It's
he's
good
so cool.
cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Nick Fury's the asshole, and Jake's kind of like, come here. Let me put my arm around you. Let me tell you some sweet nothings in your ear.
Well, yeah. Well, Jake's the only one that kind of recognizes that he's going through something. Later, we find
he's the only one that recognizes he's a 16-year-old boy.
I know.
It's like, give the kid some slack.
Later, we find out that it was for nefarious reasons, unfortunately. But and we also kind of figure out why maybe Nick Fury was being such an asshole, and how he wasn't kind of connecting anything and kind of being just a dick. It kind of makes sense at the very, very end. You kind of start connecting all these things. But yeah, and Gyllenhaal tells him that he's from another Earth, right?
Yeah, he's from an alternative universe. He's from 616, and we're 582 or something like that.
We're like 8999 or something like that.
Something.
Yeah. Yeah, and he tells him that his Earth was destroyed by the elementals.
And
that they
and
killed
sucked
everyone.
it, and then the fire one ate the core and consumed the planet.
And that the elementals were originally born from the universe. They're like the first thing born, and they're these really big.
And they were separated.
Yeah,
and...
great. And now they're going around killing all the Earths and whatnot. So Gyllenhaal came here, and Gyllenhaal lost his family. He has a ring on.
To prove it.
to really sell it.
He's really selling this thing.
I was
Quite
married.
The performance.
Yeah. He probably just keeps that on so people don't hit on him. He's joking on all after all.
That is true.
Yeah,
and in that Mysterio suit, I mean, it looks pretty good on the man.
It does.
You got to say
that fishbowl helmet. Not a lot of people could pull off.
No.
Not.
It's a very hard look.
But yeah, let's just talk about his look. I fucking loved it. They stayed with the classic Mysterio,
did
and it
I.
didn't look cheesy or
Not
stupid
at
or
all.
anything. It
No.
looked awesome,
It
even
looked
with
really
that
good.
giant, stupid
and
fishbowl
I'm,
head.
and I'm going back to it too. The action scenes with Mysterio were fucking cool, man.
Yeah, and you talk about it a little, but Jake Gyllenhaal, he killed it, man. I'm so glad. And I obviously knew that he was going to end up being the bad guy. And I obviously knew that he wasn't going to sign a 10-movie contract or whatever. It was most likely a one done. But I love that they can get those really good actors to come in and do one film and just do awesome. And then we just keep getting a new one, new awesome villains.
And that's the thing too. His performance was really amazing because he was able to. The character was so relatable, and him and Tom Holland had a really good relationship.
And he's funny.
Peter Parker.
He's super funny. Fucking Gyllenhaal. He's hilarious. And he's really funny in this too.
Yes.
That we go back to that bar scene, but I was dying today. Where he
plays-
kept Janice, Mar.
Yeah.
They kept
I love that switch too from being the real nice guy, and then boom, immediately he turned to that.
Just take this stupid costume off me. He's like, get it off. It was hilarious him sitting in the bar full fucking suit. Like, why do you take
I
off?
almost leaned over to you in the theater and I was like, why is he in that costume with everyone else around?
And no one's saying anything.
Nothing.
No one
even giving him a
mentioning it.
second look. Like, what the fuck? Is this fucking Halloween? What is this guy doing?
But yeah. Eventually, though, Fury tells Parker that he's got to stop being a fucking kid and you got to go and be the Iron
grow
Man.
up, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a tough thing. This is tough love Fury we saw
Very
in this
tough love.
one. Tough love.
It wasn't
left
very
and right.
not a lot of comedic moments. Not a lot. Well,
No.
actually, there were a few. There were some really funny moments. But I mean, he was more of a hard ass in this movie than I think we've seen him in a while.
Yeah,
He did have some funny moments.
he
though,
did.
But
This scene, yeah, Beck kind of introduces the multiverse. I mean, what we all thought we were finally going to get and how that might open up many, many things. Again, it ends up not being the case, really, and we don't really have any, yeah.
Because I was really looking forward to the multiverse. But I'm not mad with the movie. I get why they did it, why they set it up that way. But I would have really enjoyed a multiverse. You know?
Yeah.
But
But,
it is. Maybe that's more Disney Plus with
no,
Loki
we're gonna get
and
the
all that.
multiverse. Well, they kind of they briefly talk about the multiverse in Doctor Strange. They briefly bring it up for a little bit. So the realm of it still being a possibility is there. I mean, they teased it heavily here, but I mean, it ended up not being the reality, unfortunately. But I still think we're definitely gonna get a multiverse something.
You think that'll be phase?
Well, the Eternals are. The Eternals are coming. I mean, they've teased it enough, and they come from the multiverse.
The Eternals?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already confirmed. They already have Angelina Jolie playing one of them.
Yeah. So I mean, so we're gonna get multiverse for sure, but it's not in this one.
No,
not
no,
in. So
it
if
was
you're
not
going
in
to,
this one.
if you're going to this Spider-Man, hoping for that multiverse, you're probably not gonna get it. But ultimately, Peter he denies Fury, says no, I don't want to do this, and that Quentin Beck is your guy.
Yeah.
He's the fucking
He's the
Iron
hero.
Man. Yeah.
And Nick Fury goes, okay,
Yeah.
go
Nick
ahead,
Fury-
go
Yeah.
back, go back to
And
your
of
trip.
course, it's not gonna be that easy. Nick Fury gets
Never
whatever
is.
the hell he wants.
Never is.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland's really good at playing that innocent kid.
Yeah.
He really has come into his own, like with Spider-Man. Like I really love him as Spider-Man.
Well,
He
this
does
is
such a good job.
This is his best acting. I mean, that scene with Happy in the airplane at the very end is arguably the best scene in the movie when he's crying about, and he's just eventually just lets it all go, and he says, I don't want to do this. I'm not Iron Man.
Yeah.
And then Happy says, no, you're not Iron Man. Even fucking Tony wasn't Iron Man. But yeah, I think this is his best acting. He just fucking killed it. But yeah, and like you said, Nick Fury, he sabotages the whole trip. Says you're going to Prague anyways. Because
Sabotages it in a really great way for everyone else, though, because now they get upgraded to first class on that bus.
yeah.
And obviously, Dimitri is driving.
Yeah, no, I laughed really hard when they had him.
Nice
yeah.
looking bus and upgraded
Mean
hotels.
as ass bus driver though. You do
Yeah.
not want that guy.
Didn't say a
back.
word. He was a mute.
He looks pissed, man. I mean, he's a killing machine. Now he's got bus duty.
He's got to drive a bunch of these kids around.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
Everyone
But,
better have a tablet, and you better shut the hell up and watch your stuff on your iPod.
But they go and they go to a bus stop, and someone's there to meet him at the bus stop, and they give him a new Spider-Man outfit, the first kind of Spider-Man outfit first new one we get of the movie, and it's kind of like the Spider Noir.
Well, we gotta talk about the hilarious scene where Spider-Man almost accidentally executes
Brad.
Brad.
Well, we gotta talk
Yeah.
about Brad a little bit before that. Like Brad walks in while Peter's getting his new suit, and it's a super hot SHIELD agent.
Mm-hmm. And
This
is the guy.
Austrian.
Yeah, and this is the guy who has the other quote unquote love interest with MJ.
Yeah, he's got a crush on MJ too, so there's some competition there. And Brad, he just pops up fucking everywhere. I love the first time they show him, he just pops up like, do you want to fucking know Brad's coming?
Yeah, I'm like,
Just
what?
pop
and this guy, yeah.
He's everywhere, and I love the part even in the opera when he turns over and Brad just flips him off. It's so
That was awesome. Well, and what a shitty thing Brad did. He took
He
a picture and he was
yeah.
like, she deserves the truth. Fuck you. We all know what you're doing.
No.
She doesn't deserve the truth. You know he wasn't getting anything in there.
No.
Don't be an asshole.
And don't wait, who does that? Who walks in on someone and a girl and takes a picture?
I know what
that can't be PC or whatever. I don't think.
Man, not at all. That's not, yeah.
It's
just a prick.
I think it's against the law. Even I don't think.
I
you
think
can,
it is too. Yeah.
I don't think you can do that. Yeah, but yeah. So Brad, he gets a picture and he thinks that I guess he was fucking this super hot Austrian chick, and Brad's like, I gotta tell MJ because
apparently he's super tight with
Yeah,
her all of a sudden
yeah, I don't
because
know.
he met her 12 hours ago
Yeah.
on this trip.
But that's
I mean, they knew each other.
but that's when Spider-Man gets the glasses also, right?
Well, it was right before that because remember, Nick Fury gives him the glasses,
Yeah.
and then he gets on the bus, and because initially he wasn't going to go through MJ's text messages because this new device, Edith, allows him to do that. So he shakes that off.
Well, we gotta
And
talk
then-
about the glasses, what the glasses are, and everything.
Yeah,
what
the glasses are Edith, which is even in death,
even dead.
even dead, I am the hero.
I am the
yeah,
hero,
I am
yeah.
the hero. Yeah.
And it's Tony Stark's glasses. You know, they're the fucking glasses. Wow, you really like that one.
No, I'm choking on
Oh
water.
my god.
So unprofessional. Jesus.
But they're Tony's glasses, and they connect to this AI system that is Edith, and she controls fucking everything, right?
Yeah, she's a multi-billion-dollar system.
Yeah, and they say that's a lot of pressure put on a 16-year-old kid.
It is. It's a big responsibility
Yeah.
to have nuclear weapons at your disposal. You know, I mean, I don't think just one person should have.
And
that
again, but
responsibility. Poor kid.
it made Jake Gyllenhaal's character that more relatable. Even when he says, he's like, and he give it to a goddamn kid. and he's like,
Imagine
yeah.
that. Imagine working for Tony Stark, being the one behind these
Behind
amazing
Barf?
ideas. Behind Barf, yeah, behind Barf, and then Tony dies and he gives it to a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I mean, the anger you must have. So I related. I understood Jake Gyllenhaal's character.
Well, that was the whole
scared
thing.
me.
It wasn't even just Gyllenhaal though that we
No, it was
find out. It's
everyone.
this like team of like just bitter nerds really that just never really got their way at the Stark Corporation.
When
They
he-
all for different reasons had which
And I don't care what anyone says, but you look at a guy like Steve Jobs. Yeah, he was a great revolutionary, but he was an asshole. I guarantee Tony Stark was an asshole to work for.
yeah, well
Come on.
definitely at least before he was Iron Man. You know, I mean
Yeah,
once
but
he
even,
became
but even after, even when he became Iron Man, he still had that
oh yeah
killer shark
Yeah.
personality. So
he wasn't asked, but even one of the guy that Mysterio's like second in command, he wasn't even fired by Tony Stark. He was fired by Jebediah.
so he's like doubly bitter.
Yeah,
He's
so
like,
I don't know
"Who's
why
fired by a villain. What is this?
He was really mad. Yeah, but that was the big thing is they all fucking hated Tony Stark because even when he was Gyllenhaal was giving his speech, he's like into Tony and whatnot because without Tony, I guess they would have never done what they had to do. But yeah, so he gets Edith and he hacks in and it shows through Edith you can go through people's phones and shit. It's crazy technology.
Definitely,
But he uses it to he wants to use it. God damn it!
it's mine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's why.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why with the computer, I can't have.
But he wants to use it through to delete the picture that Brad took, but he ends up putting a fucking kill hit on Brad. And he gets and it's not a good move. I mean, once again, you probably shouldn't have gave the 16-year-old so much power. He's already killing his enemies.
Yes.
What 16-year-old isn't?
I don't know. I don't know which one.
You're 16.
With that sort of power.
I had bitter
taking
feuds.
out everyone.
I had
you
bitter
wanted,
feuds
yes.
at 16.
Feuds that you would get over in like 2 days, but during the time,
by
it
the
was
time I thought it
enraged.
was in it. You're 16. You got all kinds of fucking hormonal problems going on, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is give that kid weapons.
But yeah, so he takes Edith, but eventually, and it's cool that whole bus scene is really cool because he has to kill the robot coming in and whatnot.
And it was a little cheesy, but it was just cheesy enough to where it had me laughing, and that's it. When he was like, "Oh, look, mountain goats!"
Oh
He
yeah,
jumps through the roof,
and the teacher,
shoots
oh,
it.
mountain goats,
Yeah.
and they're all like, yeah.
I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was good too. Yeah, and I laughed hard when he punches Flash.
And he
Flash,
knocks
give it to me,
him
give
out.
it to me, and he just bitch slaps. Yeah,
She's like, "Did you just punch Flash?"
yeah. We finally got that fucking the Flash Spider-Man fight because in the comic books that's the first person he fights because Flash is always his bully.
Mhm.
That's the first person he fights in the Tobey Maguire. Yeah, he fights Flash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
at high school, and this is the first time that we finally get that kind of. It's
Kind
it's.
of,
I think it's
yeah.
an Easter egg, but he didn't really mean to knock him out
No.
because he barely hits. But
He
knocks
barely
him.
hits him.
And then Flash wakes up and he's like his jaw's all fucked up.
And it's so funny because Flash is like the biggest Spider-Man.
Yeah, I like what
super
I like
fan
that they
ever.
did that too. But he hates fucking
Yeah.
Peter Parker.
And the great, hilarious scene when Spider-Man's on TV and he's talking about Spider-Man, Flash. He's like, "Hold on, Flash follows me? What? Or Spider-Man follows me or whatever?" And then Spider-Man walks in. Tom Holland walks in. He's like,
Yeah.
"What's up, Dick Cheese? Where you been?" It's like, wow.
I know, it's hilarious.
He has no idea he's speaking to Spider-Man.
He's like, yeah, man. He just makes me want to be a better person.
That's
He
what it
makes
was,
me want to
yes.
do better things. And as soon as he walked in, he's like, "What's up, dickwad?" You gotta love Flash.
Yes, you do.
He's live streaming the whole trip too.
Good Lord, yeah, he is. The
I mean,
whole thing.
Yeah, that's a.
But
good...
I mean, it came in handy, which also was really good writing as well, because it was like, that is something a kid would do.
Yeah.
And then also them using that as tracking to find where they were.
Yeah.
So it wasn't corny, you know?
And so they know that the Elemental is going to attack Prague, and that's why Fury had to make the trip and make Spider-Man go to Prague. So they're going to go to Prague and whatnot, and Ned knows, Ned knows that the attack's coming too, and Ned keeps bringing up, like, just make sure you get him away, and he's like,
Get him
Ned,
away from the
I
opera
know.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, dude, I know. Like, whoa, that's why I sent you guys to an opera house.
But again, that first moment when he did it's that whole connection of like everyone's putting just a ton of pressure on him for everything, right? They
Everyone,
think,
even
and,
his
and
friends.
people think he's the leader of the Avengers right now,
Yeah.
which I guess, I mean, who else could be? Who's left?
I mean, Thor would be my guess.
Yeah, or Hulk.
Or Hulk.
Hulk
yeah.
seems like a little better leader than Spider.
Yeah, that's true. Bruce. Yeah, Bruce has probably got it figured out a little bit.
But Bruce
more.
might be fucked up. He got pretty fucked up at the end of Endgame. Remember? He used the gauntlet.
Yeah, man. Who is the new leader of the Avengers?
Well, we learned in this one that the Avengers aren't they're not a thing anymore, right? Or they're kind of, or what they're kind of hinting at is they're all kind of separated.
Yeah, it's all kind of
Because Fury even said, he's like, I come back, and he's like, I don't got a goddamn team. The Avengers are disassembled. Like, what the hell's going on here? Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's freaking out.
Well, and then the same thing with Jake. He just wanted to make sure the Avengers weren't going to show up towards the end.
Yeah, he wanted to make
Mysterio.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he did a good job doing that.
That he did.
That's for sure. But yeah, and eventually they go and they arrive in Prague, and they see that all their shit's upgraded because I mean they're on that government dollar now. I'm guessing. Yeah, so they're all upgraded, and they have to go to the opera house, and because that's their way of keeping them away from danger and whatnot. Because there's a giant carnival going on in Prague right now, and they know that's where the Elemental is attacking.
And ironically enough, that's literally where all the kids wanted to go.
Oh yeah,
Is the carnival.
Oof. They
Over
make
the
it they
opera.
make it very, I mean, but it's so true. And what fucking kids?
I know, they're like, we're
There's
gonna have
no
a fun
way.
4
I'd-
hours. They're like, 4 hours?
It's sitting through the opera. Oh my god, dude! It's just loud singing. Just a lot of loud singing.
I wouldn't mind going to an opera. I don't know if I could sit through 4 hours straight though.
That's how long I think most of them are.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they almost always have an intermission.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all they had back.
Then it's a one and done for me. I'll go watch one and then probably won't ever do it again. So it
Yeah.
better be a good one.
It's got to be a real fucking good one. But I guess if you're in Prague, it's probably a good
great.
one to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although not a lot of people in this one. Of course, if
shocked
you're
to see
having
that.
the biggest carnival of the year in the middle of Prague,
Most people probably aren't going to that showing.
No, not this day. Why just go another day?
Tomorrow, I mean, you live in Prague.
But most of the kids immediately bounce out of that. I mean,
They do, and
typical.
of course, you're going to get the oblivious teachers who have no idea.
They
that
just
they
love the
snuck
opera.
out.
They
Yeah.
love the opera. They're glued to it. They're not looking for kids.
No. Maybe not JB Smooth.
No,
He's
JB
not,
Smooth looked like he was high on Ambien the entire time. He was just along for the ride, my guy.
He was like, "Hey, don't ask any questions to me. I'm not the one answering. I'm not the one responsible here." He did that throughout the whole trip. Too.
He
It was
did,
funny.
yeah.
Even on the bus, he was like, "What? Don't look at me." Like, man, you're not going to make the call on anything, are you?
I know, that was so funny when he's like, "Don't bring me in on this." I'm like, "What do you bring him in? You're supposed to be here."
Yeah, you're supposed to be here chaperoning.
And Jeffree
this
Star is
event.
like, "I'm doing my best." He just freaks out.
In the middle of all that chaos, it was that was awesome. That seems funny.
Yeah, JB Smooth was 100% just there on vacation. He
Totally.
was not chaperoning at all.
No, I
which
think he
is-
was a little upset when he realized he had to. A little bit. He's like, "Hold on, I got to watch these kids. I got to actually watch these kids."
Yeah,
I thought we were gonna have 4 or 5 chaperones.
it is. Yeah, it's unfortunate for sure. But eventually they meet in the spot, right, where the elemental's going to attack.
Mhm.
It's at the carnival, of course, dead center carnival. Again, not sure why, but and Prague's got to be a pretty good place for a fire monster to attack, because the fire monster, he's got to eat metal and stuff,
Yes.
and every fucking building's made of stone. Imagine that thing attacked New York; it'd be a fucking giant.
Be a giant within 30 seconds.
You
Well,
could-
that's kind of
yeah,
where
you
we
could
could have been
wrap
like,
up
"This is
one
bullshit right
Yeah, I
away."
know.
It just
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So they attack. It's a big battle and fight. Again, it's awesome. The elemental monster looks fucking cool as hell, and it's like lava and everything. And they attack, but eventually, Mysterio, he almost kind of sacrifices himself, which is the big thing. He had to make a
Yeah,
big
tell
scene of
my
that.
family or whatever. Or this is something I should have done all along.
And then he fucking powers up, and then he goes,
Flies right into it.
yeah. Little do we know, Jake Gyllenhaal or Mysterio is just a great fucking director. He could have had a whole nother. Imagine he
Side
could have
job.
made movies.
He could have made the greatest movies of all time. He had a
Imagine those
brilliant
special
mind.
effects.
I know.
Yeah.
Working top notch. It looked really impressive.
No CGI. You're just CGI in the fucking
Yeah,
movie.
you could have
So
a submersive movie.
yeah. So
you
all the
could-
actors would be in the
That's
environment.
$1 billion idea. Get over this whole Tony Stark thing. He's dead.
Multi-billion. Yeah.
Just be the best, most revolutionized director of all time.
And he made great stories because he was in writing all that stuff.
He
so
was
he made
writing his own stories and writing the dialogue and,
And the
writing
dialogue,
the
yeah.
story. Yeah.
He's
It's
a
so
showman.
impressive.
He was
He's
a showman.
great showman. He just used
Because
his
remember,
talents
he
for
even
evil.
wanted to make sure the cape was iron. He's iron that goddamn
And that's
cape.
attention to detail.
That's a showman. Yeah,
That's that
That's
Del
a director.
Toro
That's a director.
attention to detail, or that Scorsese attention.
Or that Kubrick, man. That's that
detail. Or
Kubrick where it's
Kubrick,
like,
yeah.
yeah, you got to know, and everything's got to be perfect. He could have been a great director.
Could have been. It's
He
a real
botched it
sad
for
day
sure,
in the
yeah.
Spider-Man universe. The fact that
Just vengeance, man.
Mysterio's not
Vengeance gets a
not
hold of you.
director.
Yeah.
It does. I must have never read Moby Dick as a child.
No, it's never good. But they do. They fight the monster. They almost die, but they end up being buds and whatnot. And Nick Fury gives Mysterio kind of a cool. He's like, "Man, you're the fucking best. Come to Berlin. You're in. You're fucking in. You're gonna be whatever you want." And then he's like, "Spider-Man, figure your shit out, you piece of shit."
I don't like you. I don't.
Have I made that clear? I'm not. I am not.
If
a
I
fan.
haven't, I'd like to just reaffirm and
He
let you know
fucking
once more. I
hates
do not like you.
Spider-Man.
Yes.
Hates him. Just not his top 10 for sure.
No.
But he thinks he's just a punk ass kid.
I would say Nick Fury would have sacrificed 10 Spider-Mans to bring back Tony Stark.
Which is unfortunate
okay?
because he's obviously doing his best.
He's trying. I mean, he's 16.
Yeah.
I mean, good lord.
Oh, Fury, what are you thinking? You're not the best mentor.
No.
He's more of a kind of drill sergeant-esque. He's that tough love again. That tough love. But he tells Peter, he's like, "Peter, if you want, come to Berlin. But I don't expect you to be there." He pretty much says, like, it's a backhanded invite. He's like, "Go if you want. If you're in the neighborhood, go. I don't give a fuck. Show up. I don't care." But after this, it's kind of sad. So Mysterio feels bad. Peter's kind of still sad that Nick Fury keeps fucking just on his ass, on his case, and he invites him to the bar. That's the bar scene we get, where the whole thing ends up being planned, and this is the twist, where we find out finally. It's about a goddamn hour into it, wouldn't you say? that we finally figure out that Jake Gyllenhaal is the bad guy.
Yeah, easily an hour.
For sure,
Maybe even more in the hour 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I like you said, we talked about the bar scene a lot already, but I love the scene when he gives him Edith. He eventually signs over Edith. And as soon as he walks out, he's like, all right, that was easy.
Yeah.
Grabs a beer, starts celebrating. It's so
Everything
funny.
starts so slowly fading away. He turns into like that Tony Robbins motivational
He
speaker.
did, yeah.
He's
He's
like,
like,
hey, you.
He's like,
you.
I can't. Not a speech.
Yeah,
I can't, guys.
Come
Like,
on,
oh,
me a speech? I'm not a showman. What?
Rocks up there immediately, handed champagne. Like it looked like it was all just pre-planned.
It was.
Obviously.
They
He had
all
it in his-
knew they
yeah.
were getting the gold that night. Yep.
But yeah, and he does it, and he but it's we gloss over it, but it's a great scene. I mean, it's a scene where it's like it's obvious that just when he puts on the glasses, I looked over to you, but immediately what I thought is, man, he would make a great fucking Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
He would make a good. I'm talking about like if they ended up rebooting it and like before not him being Mysterio at all, I could see Jake Gyllenhaal being Iron Man. If they like did a completely new fucking reboot,
I could see that too
him.
because he can play a really good asshole.
Yeah,
But he's such a likable
and
guy.
he'd be
but
very
he does.
likable too.
Yeah.
And as
He's
soon
just
as
a
he put the
great
glasses
talent.
on, man, he did look a lot more like fucking Iron Man
Yeah.
than when Peter put the glasses on. But it was a perfect setup. And again, Jake Gyllenhaal is a fucking genius in this movie. Let's make that clear. He was high up at Stark Industry, but he has everything planned out. He's playing Trump 4D chess while we're all playing Chinese
2D
checkers. My
Sega
God.
Genesis.
This guy is light years ahead, and yeah, very bright, very bright. And he even says that Spider-Man is bright but gullible, very gullible. Unfortunately, again, because he's a kid.
Yeah, of
What
course.
kid isn't?
What kid?
They don't know that everyone.
Especially when
they
he
don't know
finally
that.
finds a mentor in his life who he thinks he can trust. Of course, the kid's gonna be gullible.
Yeah.
He's looking for someone to talk to
Mm-hmm.
who understands.
And kids don't know yet that everyone is an asshole,
Every-
and everyone is
everyone
out
has a
just to
motive,
get something.
yes.
Yeah, everyone is just has interior motives. Come on, Peter.
Come on,
You've been like this for 50 years. You're the most you fight villains every goddamn day. You see the worst
You
people.
see more evil than most people, and
You
more
should be
evil
able
on a
to
higher
detect it,
scale
yeah.
than we can ever comprehend. So
Something that I did like about this film that they haven't done at all, and I've been questioning, was they finally featured more of the spider sense, which I wasn't sure if he had the spider sense. They call it the Peter
the
tingle.
Peter
in this,
tingle,
and which is
there
very
were,
funny.
There were
yeah.
great moments with Aunt May and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, quit calling it a Peter tingle.
But yeah, I wasn't sure if he had that power because he seems like to get hit a lot in any movie. It seems like he's caught off guard.
I think
quite
he
a
has
bit.
to focus and concentrate. I think it was
Yeah.
a new skill he kind of acquired this time around.
Well, it's much different from the Sam Raimi or something, or those Spider-Man, because he uses a lot in them. Tobey Maguire.
Tobey
The
Maguire's
Spider Sense
Spider-Man,
was
yeah.
all the time, and they use it very well. I like the way that they, in those Spider-Mans, how they made it like a zoom in or whatever, and you can see when he's feeling it or whatnot.
Yeah.
They do that in this, and he finally does. He uses it. He uses
does
it a
use
lot.
it.
This is the most he uses it so far at anything, but yeah, the Peter Tingle is what they're calling it in this one, and that's his Spidey sense. And we also get that he hasn't been able to really use it because he's been so distracted lately.
I was
right?
very shocked that they never ended up finalizing the name and going back to Spidey Sense.
I know.
You know what I mean? Even in an after credit scene.
I think they might leave it at
I
Peter
hope
Tingle.
not. And they were
It
making
sounds
like
like they're
weird
talking about his dick.
innuendos. Yeah, about his
they're definitely talking about
penis
his
and
dick.
how his dick
yeah.
wasn't working. And I'm like, man, I think it's hilarious. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I'm like, man, when are we going to call this thing Spidey Sense again?
I know, you got it. You got to know him.
I mean, please don't keep the Peter Tingle. one and done on that. Kind of like, one and done.
So he does. He gives Beck the
Glasses.
Mysterio the glasses, and he says, "You would make such a better Iron Man than I would."
Mhm.
And it's that cool scene where they put the glasses on Peter, and it doesn't look right. It doesn't really look right now. And then they put it on Beck, and it's like, oh fuck yeah, he's Iron Man. And yeah, well, they go back, and Peter finds out that the trip's over, right?
Mhm.
Of course.
And that they're heading home.
Yeah. I mean, one giant monster attack, okay. We keep this trip rolling. Two giant you gotta be smart
We
on
gotta
this.
get out of here at this point. It's not safe for
Yeah.
any of us. We're probably going to die on the flight back.
It's just amazing how
nonchalant the
how
teachers
in
were.
how in this world, just how used to people are being attacked by aliens, and it's just a burden on them now. It's like rain.
Mm-hmm.
It happens
and they do
so
talk
often.
about it
Yeah.
like it is. They're like, "Oh, was that another alien attack?" And I'm like,
Yeah, they really do.
We need the Men in Black.
What about this? We didn't talk about this though. No Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah, I know.
First one ever. first Marvel movie yet.
I wish they would have shot one more. I wish he could have been sent off on Spider-Man. That was his favorite.
It was, but
I mean, according to that man, it was his favorite. So it would have been nice to see one last cameo in Spider. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the very last time. I get it. Endgame was his last grand goodbye, but it would have been cool to see him in Spider-Man.
it would have been cool. But yeah, again, we can't just keep. We couldn't. I wish he would have done 30 years of.
Cameos,
But to be realistic, he was getting up there in age, and
he was.
I
He was
think it
90,
did require.
97
And
when he died?
didn't he record like 6 before he died or something? Like
Yeah, he recorded them all in a row.
For them to do that many, that's a pretty cool thing, and for us to keep seeing him even after he's dead.
Yeah.
Kind of eerie, kind of cool though.
It is cool. It's what he would have wanted. I mean, like they should have a character in his memory.
Yeah.
Not a character that's like that we see or anything, but just one dedicated to him. Maybe in a comic book one day.
I hope eventually maybe we'll get. I mean, I don't like doing CGI characters, especially after people die. But I hope maybe we'll get one that confirms he is a watcher, and that he's
would be
still,
awesome.
and that maybe he's still watching.
Well, we saw that at the end or during Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah,
He was a watcher.
Well, not
at
that
the-
he was a watcher, just that he was working.
He was hanging
with the
out
watchers.
with the watchers. Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, can I catch a ride?" You remember
Yeah,
that?
they're
Yeah.
like, and they fucking hated it.
Yeah. Watchers like, man, this guy's frustrated.
But I think that would be something cool just to make sure, and then that would give off like he's always gonna be watching now, and that Earth is kind
Like
of
an
maybe
heavenly
his
figure.
realm or something
Yeah.
like that, or even maybe they even could do a comic book. I'm sure they probably have something cooked up to do give him some kind of. I'm sure they did do a send off something in the comic books. I don't read Spider-Man comic books.
Yeah, neither do
I don't keep it to date, but I'm sure they did something for him. They had to have. But yeah, so he gives, and Beck is now the fucking Iron Man. He's going to Berlin, and he knows. And but eventually, Peter goes back to his hotel, and he meets up with MJ because it's one last night, right? And he's got to get it. It was one night last night in Prague. It's summer. Going back to school, you gotta have some kind of story you can tell your friends when you get back, right? You
Definitely.
gotta have some kind of story. So he thinks he's gonna spend one more night with her. The whole thing he wants to give her this little necklace, the Black Dahlia necklace, yeah. But he right when he's about to do that, they go in and or they're meeting on the bridge, and MJ says, "Yeah, you're Spider-Man," and she figures out, which not difficult. I would not think.
No.
I would, yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about how, because he had to get a new suit so people wouldn't recognize him, and they
called him the Night Monkey.
Ned, because Ned's trying to
Ned
make
was
him a
up
new
on
name, and
the
they're like,
on the
he's
Ferris
Night,
wheel,
and it's so
she's
funny.
Like, call him by
Yeah.
name. Who is he? And she's like, the Night Monkey.
And that immediately just fucking catches like around the world.
Caught on the
He's-
news and everything. Yeah.
I remember I laughed so hard when he goes in jail later, and the guy's wearing the suit. He's like the Night Monkey.
yeah,
Like
he
it's
goes,
so
yeah,
it's
Night
that part,
Monkey.
but like everyone knows about it already. But yeah, so everyone thinks he's this European superhero, the
yeah.
Night Monkey. But yeah, and MJ says you're Spider-Man, and he tries to convince her that he's not. Doesn't work out very well. She pulls out this piece of little technology and says, "Hey,
What the
well,
fuck
what
is
about the
this?
webs?
Yeah.
You know, you fire the same webs." And eventually he does tell her. But the piece that she has a web on,
Glitches.
it's the projector from when they were fighting the fire elemental earlier on. Eventually they find out that Beck has been he's a fraud. He's been a big fat phony.
The whole time.
He's been lying this whole time.
Yep.
He doesn't have any powers at all. He's been projecting.
He is just a man.
He is an illusionist.
And a grand illusionist.
Yes, he is very good.
Probably
at
the
what he does.
best ever we've ever seen.
I'd say. But yeah, and he's been using the Stark technology that he invented to make these crazy, crazy holographic illusions. And man, are they good looking. And they're so good they can cause real damage. Because they can all shoot bullets, so they can. But he makes it look very good. It looks
Very convincing.
very, very convincing. Yeah, because it causes a lot of damage.
It does.
It destroyed
Well,
New
and then
York.
the next
remember?
scene after that bridge scene was him being like the massive like director.
Yeah, I
directing
liked
the
it
whole
showing
scene.
that too.
Yeah.
It shows him go, it goes back and they're kind of in like a warehouse and they're kind of setting up for the newest. Because he says to be an Avenger, you got to do something grand on a grand Avenger scale. So now they're doing one more elemental. It's going to be the wind.
For the New York City one.
For London.
Or for London, yes, that's right.
Yeah, and he's like, it's got to be big. So he turns the fucking violence meter up or whatever. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, the double. He just said the murder thing or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know if they call it the murder.
Yeah, the murder thing? No, the violence ticker or whatever it was.
And he's like, and the guy who's from the first Iron Man and whatnot, he's like, are you sure you want to do it? He's like, it's going to kill a lot of people. And he's like, well, you got to do what you got to do. You know, you got to become an Avenger somehow. People got to die. Like, all right, let's do it. And it also shows that he's kind of keeping those people hostage, too.
Kind of? He goes, I'll put a bullet in anyone's head. And he sends all the drones with laser pointers, of course, because laser pointers are terrifying. And they're all aimed at everyone's head in the room. So, no, he's definitely holding them hostage. And I like that transition because we saw him at the bar. He's having fun. They're all smiling. They're all pointing. You think they're all just a group of coworkers and friends. But then you see that dark twist where it's like, oh, no, at the same point, this man will kill these guys at a blink, at a snap of a finger.
Well, at the end of the day, it shows that he is the bad guy. And he is hell-bent on ruining Tony Stark's image and everything. I mean,
no one's gonna stop him.
Yeah, and it kind of shows how he's the only one that's really, really serious in doing everything. Like all these other guys, all the other nerds, they're kind of in it for money. Because at one point he says, "And you guys are gonna be very rich or whatever." I don't think they really want to kill people, but it shows that Quinn Beck, he's like, well, you mean you got to kill whoever you got to kill. You got to become an Avenger because he believes that Tony Stark, it's all fad or whatever, and that you only believe it. And again, this movie, which we talked about a little off camera, but it's very relevant. I mean, unexpectedly so. You didn't.
Well, especially with the end credit scenes and stuff like that, it was people will believe anything.
Yeah, and that's Quinn Beck's Mysterio's entire thing. His entire belief and his entire motivation for being bad is that he can be bad because people will believe anything.
Yeah,
and anything you put in front of them, they will believe. So it kind of rings true to the world we kind of live in today. And I did not expect that going into Spider-Man and it being so relevant.
Yeah.
But so his whole thing is that people will believe whatever, and it's true though. I mean, he makes it. I mean,
I was a little scared with that one. It ended up being a funny joke with Peter Parker and MJ, where he was like, "You look pretty tonight," and I was like, "Oh, that's sweet." And then she was like, "Oh, does pretty qualify me?" And I'm like, "Oh no."
No, she's like, "Because I'm pretty." Is it? It's like, does that make me worth something or something like that? She says something like that. Yeah.
And he's like, "No, I was just trying to be nice." And she's like, "No, I'm just kidding."
Yeah,
I was like, "Dang, they're really going for it. They're going for the jugular." Poor kid, he's nervous.
I know, man. He can't get a break. I know, just trying to be nice, and then I know. But but eventually, Parker, he travels to Berlin and meets Fury. Fury just picks him up. Which again, it's not a good thing when he's just pulling up, picking you up. They pick him up. He goes to this whole thing is Beck finds out that Peter knows about the holograph and knows that Quinn Beck is a fraud.
Yes.
And he also knows that MJ knows. So now he's got to kill everyone. Now he's got to.
But no, he doesn't know. MJ knows. Remember, he didn't know until.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
Until
until he told him
the illusion.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, you're so gullible once again, kid."
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Now all your friends have to die as well," because he was fronting as Nick Fury, but he wasn't actually Nick Fury.
Yeah, that whole thing, and that's
Mysterio.
it's the cool scene of the entire movie by far. That illusion scene where it's going back and forth and showing old clips, and
CGI,
it's amazing.
It looks great.
The whole thing, and it's just some trippy kind of dream-esque scenario,
like acid trip kind of thing.
But the whole time he's actually still in a factory and whatnot, so he's getting hurt like constantly as he's
still
going
punching
through this
brick walls, thinking it's Mysterio.
Yeah. And it's kind of the big kind of villain fight, but Mysterio is literally not touching him. Doesn't touch him a single time. He just let Peter just fall and do his own thing. It's very cool and it's kind of tormenting and it's a lot because it's showing
very
all
scary
the tough.
Too.
Yeah, it's showing a lot of tough scenes of. That Peter does, and it even goes back and he kind of tells him that you're just a kid in spandex. Because we go back and we see the first suit also, just the shitty sweatsuit. And eventually,
and I like that callback too.
I liked it too.
That was
Yeah,
cool.
I liked all the callbacks. Yeah, and he thinks, and it's another cool twist where Nick Fury comes back and he shoots Quinn back in the back,
Mm-hmm.
and Peter thinks he's won and
Yeah,
whatnot.
and when that happened, I was like, no, there's no way it's that easy.
I know. I thought it was gonna be like, wow, what a twist! It was just that easy.
I know.
Like maybe that was gonna be
I know,
the big
and I was
end.
like, what? Like, this
Yeah.
is so weird. I was like, there's got to be another villain.
But as
somewhere.
soon as I heard him say, as soon as I saw that he was still like pressuring, like, who
he
did he
was
tell? Like, why
questioning
was
him.
that so important to him? And yeah, it was just to get.
Well, as soon as he started questioning him about like who he told and stuff, I was like, why would
Yeah.
Nick Fury ask that right off the bat? This makes no sense. And I knew right away. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
the whole reason was to get him to tell him that MJ also knew, and Ned also knew too.
Ned
right?
and his girlfriend,
Yeah, Ned
possibly.
and Betty. Yeah.
Betty, yeah.
So now, so now Mysterio's got to kill a bunch of fucking kids, unfortunately.
And Spider-Man gets hit by the train, and that's when he gets dragged off.
Yeah,
At the
gets
end
hit
there.
hard.
Very hard. I don't know how he survived that impact because he is a bug. Don't you think he would splat on the windshield? Like,
Bugs are
Yeah.
sturdy though, man. You gotta say that.
I would strongly disagree with that. I would say bugs are not the sturdiest of creatures.
Yeah, but you can drop a bug from like an insane amount of height and they'll be fine.
Yes. But if I hit one with my car, it goes,
Yeah, that's
Splat.
true. But you're not hitting spiders on the freeway, are you?
no. So this
Yeah,
is the fair
'cause
point.
in
I have not tested
I don't
want to
live in the world of that we're just spiders flying around.
Of course not. No, that's a world I don't want
That's a nightmare. It's a nightmare scenario that no one wants to live in.
No.
So, yeah. But yeah, and he is. Everyone knows Spider-Man. He's fucking durable though. He gets dropped from buildings all the goddamn time. In this movie, it's brutal, dude. He's
It
hitting
is.
rails. It's never a good
definitely
landing.
superhuman.
Yeah, he's not Catman, that's for sure. Because he never lands on his fucking feet.
Never.
Not a single time. Man, he takes some hard hits in this.
Yeah.
And I liked how in this one he gets hit by a bullet train, and it does show that he did take some damage. So he's not
Yeah.
fucking just immune. I
then
like
he
I like
wakes
when
up-
they do that and they show a little
Yeah.
blood because they're usually scared to show a little blood. And he wakes up and you can't wake up in a better country.
I know.
Maybe Canada.
Yeah, Canada would be another good
besides-
one.
Yeah. What's the Canada of Europe?
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Yeah.
They're just a beautiful, beautiful people.
And even the
in
prisoners were
jail.
nice.
Yeah.
They were all nice. It looked like they just
was
got
so-
locked
yeah.
up. They were a little too rowdy at the soccer game.
Yeah, just a couple
Or the
of
rugby
soccer
game, whatever,
hooligans.
yeah.
Yeah. I know. I liked how they were like, because they were taking it super far. Like, obviously the joke was Netherlands people are very nice, but it's like, you looked cold. They covered him up with their
With
shirt.
their
They're that
jersey.
nice. They're just,
And then when he breaks out,
yeah, and they just close
yeah.
it back. Like, we'll do our time. They're cool.
oh, it's all good. And the officer's like, "You guys okay in there?" He's like,
Yeah,
"Yep."
he's concerned
And
about
he
them. I know.
closes it. It's
Even
a
the cop
strange
is
place.
super
And
nice.
then Tom Holland goes out there and he asks for the phone. He goes, "What are these? Just the nicest people in the world?
Yeah, and the guy just like, here,
Yeah.
you can have it. It's your
Yeah.
phone now. Take it. Yeah.
Do whatever you want."
But yeah, so he eventually calls Happy, right?
Mhm.
Because at this time Mysterio's not tracking him or anything because he thinks he fucking killed him. I mean, you gotta think. I would be thinking, like you said,
Hell
yeah,
yeah, dude. If a bullet train
Bullet
hits
train,
someone,
yeah.
yeah, you gotta assume. Gotta assume.
But he calls Happy, and Happy picks him up. And me and you were thinking the exact same thing about this tulip field. This poor tulip farmer.
I know. I leaned
You
over. to
couldn't
him like,
land
you couldn't land
anywhere in a
else?
parking
No.
lot, maybe? They
Really?
don't got
I mean,
parking lots over in Netherlands? It's
God,
just
I mean, those are
tulip farm.
beautiful flowers. You're ruining them.
Beautiful. And he lands right in the middle of that
Right in the
goddamn
middle. He doesn't
field.
give a shit,
No.
man.
And they're hovering there for 15 minutes, so it's probably just destroying those.
Tearing up, just eating the hell out of him. And when they left too, I like how they actually did put a spot where that shit made.
Yeah,
impact.
they had to.
Yeah.
I mean, those
It'd
tulips.
be stupid. There were
that was the
petals
real.
flying around
That
everywhere.
was the real tragedy of this film.
It
Was
was.
those tulips?
Is that farm did not deserve it. Those tulip farms did not deserve
Yeah,
that.
so many other places to land.
I
Happy.
know, man.
Land in a yard, of grass, even.
Or maybe
Yeah.
try a helicopter pad. I mean,
I
it's
get that
pretty
you're
fucking
shield, but
conventional,
what do you?
but-
You can't follow any rules
Yeah,
anymore.
you
Now you're
should-
just being an asshole
yeah.
to be an asshole.
Yes.
Brutal.
Just to say I got the power. That's what happens when Captain America goes away.
It's true. There's no law
chaos.
anymore. It's
Yeah.
anarchy.
It's martial law.
But we get a very cool scene of Happy and Peter, where you might think maybe Happy might be your new uncle now. You don't know what's going on.
Well,
You might be calling me Uncle Happy
yeah.
now. Because But yeah, it was cool. It was that cool first scene, and that scene right when Happy lands and Peter comes and hugs him, and Happy's not really sure what to do. He's like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah, he goes, "What the
But
hell
you see,
happened?"
he is concerned. You know.
Well, yeah, because Peter Parker immediately was like, "Tell me something only you would know." And that was
Yeah.
a funny moment. He's like, "Well, you did order a pay-per-view, and
That was funny. He ordered porn.
yeah, you ordered porn." He goes, "But I knew by the title, but you didn't think I did." He's like, "No, okay, stop."
Yeah, that was really good. But I like Happy and Peter and how Happy's kind of taken this role because of Tony Stark being dead. And now that maybe I imagine Tony was like, take care of that kid if I'm gone and whatnot. So now it's kind of Happy's job to take care of him. And Happy's getting better at it. He's not the best. He's not. He doesn't really know what to say.
But he's
too
trying.
often. Yeah,
and we can tell he's trying.
He's definitely trying.
Sometimes if you're out there trying hard, it's okay. You can fail.
Absolutely. But like I said, I think this was the best acting in this part right here, where Tom Holland kind of breaks down and finally lets it all loose. He's like, I don't want to be Iron Man, or I'm not Iron Man, and whatnot. It's really good acting because he just does start crying, and he does a really good job, I thought.
I had a really interesting theory at this point, which makes absolutely no sense, does not stick with the comic books or anything, and I understand that. But we got to have a few years where we don't have an Iron Man. If this continues to go on and Tom Holland gets too old to play Spider-Man, do we ever see that relationship where he gives up the role of Spider-Man to become Iron Man because he had such a connection with Tony Stark that he becomes Tony Stark one day and then he passes as Spider-Man? So it's almost like a Spider-Man's like a generational thing because you have to be young to play
I don't know, but
Spider-Man.
he actually has spider powers. So you
Good
can't
point.
give
Yeah,
it,
so
yeah,
you can't
you
give
can't
it to
pass
someone
that
else.
down,
Yeah.
unfortunately. I mean, because he doesn't know. I mean, this is another Spider-Man that doesn't touch the origin story at all, which again is something that I like. But they don't go into it at all. But
And we
yeah,
didn't
so I
need
don't
it.
really
we
know.
did not need it. So
No, we don't need
thank
it,
you,
no.
Marvel, for not doing that.
And we
again.
got a little bit of a. They don't talk about Uncle Ben very much, but I noticed this when he grabbed the suitcase. His suitcase, the initials on it were BFP, which is Benjamin Franklin Parker. So he's got his suitcase because they haven't shown an Uncle Ben yet at all. So we don't really know anything about him yet. But that was kind of a cool little Easter egg that we got.
Yeah, that is cool.
But yeah, so they go and eventually he tells him about Beck. He tells Happy about Beck. They fly to jolly old England because that's where it's all going down.
Oh, it goes down in the old London.
The UK, yes sir.
London calling.
And it's anarchy in the UK.
It is.
And that's another.
There you go. I love it. Good work. Good work, my friend.
I feel good about it. I really do. And we also get a cool scene we didn't talk about, but it's a cool scene when he starts using the hologram tech. And then we get the first kind of glimpse that this is the forming of Tony Stark.
Mm-hmm.
And then Happy looks. He's like, oh, that is pretty fucking cool. Because he is doing it and he looks like Tony. You know?
Yeah, he does.
Because in every fucking Iron Man, we always got Tony going to the hologram and whatnot.
And again, that whole thing is kind of what I was talking about, where one day he would take on that role. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's a far out theory.
Well, I mean, he could be Iron Spider and be that Iron Man role, you know? He doesn't have to technically be Iron Man, but I think that is what they're getting at. Maybe, I know, and I wonder if...
Well, if we still know anything about Tom Holland, he will want to play Spider-Man until he's 35, 40. So if we had an Iron Spider-Man...
I don't see Tom Holland looking old for a very long time.
No. He does have a very young face.
Yeah, I don't
young-looking
see it.
face.
And I do not see him aging a lot. I mean, he's 20-something, but he looks very young
yeah, I
already.
think he's like 23.
I think so, yeah.
24.
He's
I
around
think
our
he's a lot
age, yeah.
older than 16.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely...
But yeah, I don't see him. And even if because the character is getting older. I mean, he's only 16. He's only been 16 this long because the fucking blip whatnot.
Yes.
So he hasn't really, but the character will eventually get older. He'll have to eventually graduate high school and he will become that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man that we all know and love.
We do love that Spider-Man.
So they go to London and Peter, he has got this whole plan on how he's going to beat Mysterio. And
we know at this moment that Mysterio. We know that Nick Fury knows about Mysterio now because Spider-Man told him.
Yeah.
And that we also know that Mysterio is planning on killing Nick Fury and all the kids as well at this London event.
Yeah.
And that's what we know going into it.
Yeah, and we could bring it, but man, Gyllenhaal he played such a good villain and especially towards this part where he's getting more and more ruthless, and even the part where he starts yelling. You know, he's just such a great actor. I mean, he's arguably the best actor as far as just what he's done in any of these movies, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, is there anyone else that Samuel Jackson you can argue, but I think Gyllenhaal probably has a higher tier of acting than Samuel Jackson does. He is fucking. Jake Gyllenhaal is. I mean, Oscar good. I mean,
He's
however
definitely Oscar
far
good.
you, whatever
in anything he does.
Exactly, yeah.
Like legitimately, Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my favorite of all time. He's incredible in everything he does.
He is. He's so.
His whatever character it is, I'm engrossed in his character whenever I watch his movies.
Yeah. Well, fucking Nightcrawler haunts me.
God. Oh my
so
God.
when we talk about bad guys, he plays the worst
kind of human being in that, and it's brilliant. It's
It is
so
brilliant, man.
fucking
But
creepy.
he's transformed in that. We talk about good acting. He's a different. And
He's a
that's
different breed,
That's
man.
one of those roles where you think after you do something like that, you got to take some
go do
time off.
something
You got to go
else.
maybe do
Yeah.
a Spider-Man
Or
or
do
something
a
like
comedy.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because man,
Do something totally different.
Nightcrawler. I mean, that's one of those movies we did review that, didn't we?
No, we haven't. I
Oh,
would
we
love
might
to do
need to
that.
review it because that's
That
one of
might
those.
be my streaming pick of the week because
Yeah.
I love Nightcrawler, and since we're on Jake Gyllenhaal, if it's on streaming, let's do that one.
Yeah, Nightcrawler is one of those movies I talk about was so good, but it's one of those movies that you kind of only want to watch once because it's terrifying.
I will watch it twice for the podcast.
Oh yeah,
though.
so will I,
and that's the
obviously.
same
Yeah,
thing.
Hereditary was kind of like that for me, where it's like although I did see it twice in theaters.
You got to
when
take a breather.
eventually I did. I watched it a couple weeks ago on streaming, but I mean, it took me to be in the right mindset to watch
You
it.
have to
Yeah,
be.
and that's like Requiem for a Dream is the same way, but there's just some of those films that are amazing, but it's like they're so heavy.
Yeah.
That you kind of got to. And Nightcrawler ends so horribly, too. I mean, it really leaves you on a sour note.
It doesn't
No,
end
it
good.
ends good for Jake Gyllenhaal, I guess.
That's about it.
But man, is
Not
he
for
a
his buddy.
psycho in that. And he lost he lost like 50 pounds for that
Mhm.
role or something. Not even needed, but it makes him look just
Makes
that
him look
much
even
creepier.
more. Yeah, it makes him look kind of
like a
bony
fucking
and
skeleton man.
Ugh.
Yeah. Anyways, get off Nightcrawler.
yeah. We got to get off Nightcrawler
Speaking of another Nightcrawler.
because I got Nightcrawlers all over me. I'm getting creeped out.
But yeah, so he goes and Mysterio, he started his giant fucking show or whatever, and he's controlling it from Marv because he's really never involved. It's all he's not actually fighting.
He's not actually
anything.
doing it.
No,
It's
he's
all
not doing
just
anything.
a hologram.
Yeah, and he's kind of just at a
With-
distance, kind of watching and directing it. Again, great director.
Great director. He knows his stuff, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of pieces to this
Because he's
puzzle,
controlling the whole
and he
thing,
is
man. He's
doing
telling
it
all the people,
flawlessly.
yeah.
Could have been a prodigy.
Peter, he gets right in the middle of the kind of the storm, and he gets in the middle where you can see it's a hologram from the inside, and that's where, and then he starts.
And I like that moment too when he jumps into the thing. He goes, "It's only fake."
Yeah, I like that
because
too.
he was still second guessing himself.
Well, I like the scene where he's jumping from back and forth, kind of doing the web. I like that a lot too. That was really cool.
Off
Yeah,
all the droids. Yeah, that was
yeah,
awesome.
I thought that was
Or
really
drones, I
cool too.
should
Yeah.
say.
So he spider webs them, then he electrocutes them, and that starts to fuck with the hologram. And now Gyllenhaal, he's really getting pissed.
Now he just wants to kill the kid.
Yeah, he
Period.
wants to kill
That's
all
what
the
he
kids
says. Yeah, kill them all.
because he was supposed to kill the kids on the bus.
And
Because
yeah,
we saw
gotta
that
talk about
bus
that
go
too.
up,
Because
yeah.
the bus, he's like, they're in the kill zone,
Uh-huh.
and then the guy just leaves. I'm like, damn, dude,
Cold blooded.
they're definitely cold blooded.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's trying to kill kids, and he's also has a fucking robot right there ready to kill Nick Fury. Just he said
Right on
he's
his
gonna
face.
kill him in the destruction or whatever, so it
Mhm.
makes him look like But Peter, he does that. He gets pissed, or Jake Gyllenhaal gets pissed. He starts sending all the drones after him, and eventually he tells the guy, he says, "Okay, wipe the whole thing." He's like, "Screw it, we'll do it live. We're just gonna do it goddamn live. We'll figure something out." He tells him that,
And that's a good director who knows how to work on the fly. Your production
yeah,
value.
a lot of people
production
just
money
walk
is
out
down.
at that moment.
They do.
Yeah, a
He
lot
is
of
like the
people-
Steven Spielberg who says, "You know what?
That's
I will
someone
double
that's
down on
that's
this
someone that
Jaws
keeps
film."
going.
Yep.
We give him a lot of shit, but I think Michael Bay at that moment, he's just walking.
He
He's
would've walked.
walking.
He would have walked.
He's saying, I don't want.
I don't
If
want
it's
this
not
pressure.
easy for me, yeah, I don't.
I don't want this.
Gyllenhaal
this
says,
commitment.
but again, it shows. I mean, we joke, but it shows how smart that character of Beck was because he immediately, and towards the end credits, we know he immediately had a new plan because he says, "Oh, they'll believe anything." He's like, "Don't worry," because the guy in the van, he's like, "How the fuck are you gonna do this?" And he's like, "Don't worry, they'll believe anything." So he does that. He sends all the bots. He's controlling Edith still, and he's got the glasses on too, so he's looking like Iron Man. And he sends them all, and eventually Peter, he beats the robots, and it was that cool fucking
Spider sense.
sense scene where he
Peter Tingle scene.
Yeah, he
Yes.
does the kind of
It literally
it's
was
kind of
straight
the
out of a video
dodgeball
ga-
scene
yeah.
where he's putting the fucking the thing around his eyes. He's like, we're doing it blind. He does
Great
it.
scene.
He does it, man, and he does it. He without seeing anything because the robots can cloak themselves because they're all holograms and whatnot, and he kills them all, or he fucking destroys it. And it's a cool scene with him on the bridge too. And I gotta tell you how sturdy that goddamn bridge is. The the Tower Bridge.
It was made right. It was made right.
Those
it was
crafts,
made by
man,
hardworking.
that bridge been
Londoners.
standing a long time because
Yes.
that thing didn't fucking move. And it was
Oh.
taking some serious hits, and that thing was sturdy as a fucking
It was.
rock.
It was.
I don't know what we're building our bridges
I
out
don't
of
know, but
paper.
that definitely was not American made.
We get a strong wind. We got a bridge collapse.
We did, yeah, a few years ago.
We have
did.
two. Yeah, we have a lot, man.
A lot of people died doing that.
Not the London Bridge. That
No.
thing is
That thing's sturdy as hell.
because it does take some hits, and yeah, eventually he goes up and finds Mysterio because he's right at the London Bridge. He's in the tower, very close. I feel like he could have been farther away for this. Why does he have to be so close?
I don't know.
Why couldn't he even be
Miles
countries
away?
away?
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
But of course, but remember, he had to come because he had to be right there at the very end to become Mysterio.
Oh yeah, duh,
right?
and
Yeah.
shake hands and all that.
Because he thought he was gonna meet the queen.
Yeah,
Because that's why he wants to get because he keeps telling that lady, get the wrinkles
yeah.
out.
Get the wrinkles
the
out.
goddamn
of it.
wrinkles.
Yeah, she's like, you still want the You still want the cape? He's like, of course I want the cape.
Don't
I'm gonna
cancel
not.
the cape. I know. Yeah, so
Keep ironing.
he does do. I know. Imagine she went from being some high up fucking.
To
Now she's
ironing
ironing
this guy's cape. She's like, man, quite the
What a
what the
drop.
fuck
What a
happened in my
drop, I
life?
know.
Yeah, you got to ask yourself those questions after a while.
But during the fight, during Peter and Mysterio's fight, Mysterio actually gets shot in the crossfire because he's in the kill
Because
zone.
he was in the kill zone and he ordered all drones kill him, but you're in the kill zone.
Yeah, and
he sent him anyway.
Edith said you can't, or you're gonna get
And
shot.
that was some quick foreshadowing because I definitely foresaw him getting shot right after that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah.
I mean,
She's
those
not gonna
things-
bring it
those
up.
things just shoot, and if they get hit, they spin and shoot. They spin
Yeah.
and shoot, and it's a dangerous game. You're playing drone roulette.
But you know what it reminded me of was which is impossible for me not to bring up, but the original Spider-Man, remember Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire, when he's at the very end with Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe accidentally gets killed because remember he's got
By
his
his-
thing and
and it goes into
Spider-Man
his
jumps
gut.
at the very end and it accidentally kills him. Because remember that was the big thing is he didn't want to kill him because he was his best friend's dad. But this kind of reminded me of that esque thing where he accidentally got killed because Spider-Man's not going to kill him. But of course Jake Gyllenhaal had to die in this because he's probably not going
A
to come do
one-off
another
too,
movie.
yeah.
But he does end up getting shot and but again it shows how smart he is because he still fucking tries to trick him and that's a great the great character that is Mysterio, because if you ever know anything about Mysterio, that's what he is. He's a grand illusionist. He's never had powers or anything. He eventually does get powers, I think, in later versions of him, but he never had power. He was always the person that was kind of just kind of made him look like he had powers.
Mhm.
But yeah, master of illusions. He still tries to get Peter. Says he doesn't fucking shoot him in the head. That would have been brutal.
It would have been real brutal for a Marvel film.
Yeah, but Peter, he's got the Peter sense, the Peter tingle.
He does.
And he stops that gun.
Thank God it didn't happen to him like it happened to Leonardo DiCaprio in The Departed.
I know.
All that blood and stuff.
Yeah.
Man.
But and it shows what a fucking cold-blooded bastard that Beck ended up really being. That he was willing to kill this little kid just to make sure, and he was willing to kill all those kids.
Yeah, we find out in the end he's a piece of shit.
He's a real piece of shit, yeah. But he did end up really getting shot, which is unfortunate.
That was true, yeah. Because all the illusions were over.
Yeah, at the very
According
end,
to Edith.
eventually, because eventually he did, because he tries to shoot him, and he says, "Okay, give me the glasses now." And he just says, "Okay, this is my last one. I'll give you the glasses." He does give him glasses. Peter sends off the drones.
He goes, okay, no more jokes.
Yeah.
All jokes aside. I'm not trying to kill you now.
Okay, we're good. Yeah,
We're good here.
but he does, and he ends up dying though, doesn't he?
He does.
Kind of different for a kind of darker for a Marvel villain, I guess. Usually they end up getting jailed or they're Loki. 90% of the time the villain is Loki and he always ends up
And he was-
surviving.
yeah. I like it though. I like people dying. I like real
do I.
real
Makes it-
storylines.
yeah.
It makes it again more intriguing.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially as the fan base gets in these movies, the more we want to see realistic
Oh, yeah.
circumstances happen. You know, I mean, you're talking about this guy killing thousands of people, or even possibly millions of people. He should die.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
You should die if you're evil like that.
yeah.
You
It gives the
should die.
characters more weight too. I think
Yeah.
when there's real consequences and
right, not just getting locked up so they can escape 6
Yeah.
months later.
But Peter ends up going back, or he ends up confessing his love to MJ.
Mm-hmm.
They end up, of course, they're
Hitting
in
it
love.
off
Yeah, it's
immediately.
MJ and Spider-Man, of course. But they end up going back to New York, and Peter starts his relationship with MJ. Starts spidering around with her.
Using all 8 of his
His limbs.
limbs.
And let's talk about the mid credit scene, shall we? Shall
Let's
we
talk
get
about
into
it,
it? 'Cause
yeah.
that's the end of it. We get finally J. Jonah Jameson, played by J.K. Simmons. Does it make any sense? Absolutely fucking not.
I think it's awesome though.
I think it's awesome,
the
too.
Same Daily Bugle
Because
guy
all
all the different movies.
yeah, he's the only guy
That's the
that
one
can,
thing that remains
he's
the
the
same
only
in
guy
this.
that can play J. Jonah Jameson.
And I
And
think
really,
he's
he
actually
is.
the face of Spider-Man.
He is. There's no
true-
other person that can play him. I mean, he's the perfect. Just that voice. They didn't really make him look too much like J. Jonah Jameson in this one. They kind of said J.K. Simmons, okay, sit down, just do Jameson. But yeah, man, we finally got him, and he's not really in charge of
The newspaper.
the daily. It's more of a
live show.
well,
Live news show.
It's
something.
more of
It's like
the
Alex Jones
Alex
in
Jones.
InfoWars. kind of thing,
Infowars. That's
yes.
what it is. It's an Infowars
Definitely,
style.
definitely.
And we also see
When they even made it look like the background of Alex
for
Jones
sure, yeah.
and the little
Shitty.
logo,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah.
And we also reveal that fucking big revealed that Beck recorded himself right before he died, because that was obviously his plan when he said, "Don't worry, I'll figure it out. They'll believe anything." His whole plan. He reveals that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
And that Peter Parker, Spider-Man, killed
Beck.
Beck, which is Mysterio,
Yeah.
who's supposedly the hero, and everyone's freaking out about it.
Because he said that only Spider-Man wanted to be Iron Man. He said he had to be the next Iron Man,
And
so
he
he killed
edited
Beck.
the footage
Yeah.
to make it seem like he ordered all the drones to kill everyone.
Yeah, but did the drones ever kill anyone?
No, so that's where I was like, huh, this is strange.
I
How's
know,
that
because
gonna
right
work?
after it makes them sound like it's like a firing squad, and then we
Yeah.
hear a bunch of screams and stuff. But
But who died?
no one, I don't
Yeah.
think. I mean, maybe some people probably died in like the bridge attack or something like that. But
Yeah.
I don't think anyone just got straight up shot.
No, that's hard to prove. Hard to prove. Spidey, I think you're all right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it seems like they're building up to where he could be. I mean,
The
a
villain?
potentially well, not a
Or not the villain, but the
just at the
bad
start,
guy,
they're
like,
gonna
yeah.
kind of think. Which I mean, it. I don't know. It's a stretch to me that anyone would believe that after fucking the events of Endgame and stuff that Spider-Man's bad after he clearly
Save the whole
Save
world.
the world,
yeah.
I know.
It seems far-fetched, but
yeah. So I don't
people
know.
turn on you on a dime, though. The public turns on people on a dime.
Well, it was the whole thing that they'll believe anything, man.
Uh-huh.
They will. We also got a post-credit scene that
Okay.
showed that the Skrulls, Talos and Soren, the two Skrulls that are played by Ben Mendelsohn
Yes.
in the Captain Marvel, were the ones were really Fury and Hill the entire time. And in the credit scene, they call Fury because he's like, it shows him he's on like a beach on a Skrull ship, but really it's just the hologram or whatever. So he's like on vacation or something. And at the very end, he says, "Okay, I guess it's time for me to come back." Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Fury knew that the Skrulls were impersonating him, doing
Right.
his job. Yeah. He just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go on vacation. You guys figure this out."
You know what? Everyone deserves a vacation sometimes.
Well, why not just go on vacation? Why do you gotta fake here? Why do you gotta do some Home
Because
Alone
man,
style bullshit?
it's that fucking bragging rights where I work every day. I never take a day off.
But
He's
the
one of those
Skrulls
guys.
know. Skrulls are gonna tell everyone.
Nah, they not between those two. Not if he gives them a little a little bump in their pay.
Oh, you talking about
They can say
cocaine?
shit. Oh, Skrulls love that cocoa. You know how it is.
Well, they're all about the cocoa.
They are.
But yeah, so we get that, and it answers because, I mean, I didn't recognize this before, but I'm guaranteed I go back and watch it again, and I've realized, or I start seeing all the kind of small hints, because apparently Fury and Hill were kind of giving small hints throughout the entire thing, small
Ticks.
movements, ticks and stuff like that they possibly weren't. And a lot of people, they were kind of acting strange. I mean, they weren't maybe acting like the way that I would think Nick Fury would acting, especially with Nick being a dick the entire time.
Yeah.
And the way
And
that
a little
he
bit
was,
more mean than he normally was.
and the way how he was just so, and he had no clue at all that Mysterio was bad,
Which is
I
nothing
think,
like Nick Fury.
no, nothing like Nick Fury. He's got the fucking Nick tingle where he
Mm-hmm.
always knows if you're bad. But yeah, that's it. That's what we get. That was the last credit scene.
Yes, sir. That was the end of the film.
Yeah. What do you think, Mason?
We're giving our review, our grade here.
Final thoughts.
My final thought on this, from start to finish, this was such a fun movie for me.
Yeah.
This was just a lot of fun. I loved the dynamics. I loved Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. I thought the story was awesome. It took the supervillain and made the villain power something totally different that we don't traditionally see in superhero movies, where we also use like tech advances too, which I love that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. That's like sci-fi for me. You know, where you use shit that's going to be happening in the future. He used a technology. It was just awesome. This movie was really good. I thought the CGI was incredible, absolutely incredible. I feel like Tom Holland's really finding his stride with Spider-Man. All around, this movie worked for me. I give this film a solid A.
Oh, solid.
Solid A.
Wow.
Not an A plus.
Wow.
A pluses are served for like, you know.
But a solid A, not an A minus.
Not an A minus.
Wow.
No, I give this movie an A. I was super entertained throughout this whole thing.
Yeah,
I really loved it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. I thought it, like you said, it was super fun. It was a great Spider-Man. Tom Holland, he killed it. I think I might even liked it more than the first Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, I did for sure.
I thought the villain was a little more interesting in this one, and I really liked that whole dynamic with the illusions and like the VR and the virtual reality and stuff. Like that was awesome, and they had a really fucking cool scene with him going into kind of like the dream sequence and stuff. That scene that was really memorable to me.
Definitely.
But yeah, I loved it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was definitely it's definitely one of the better Marvel movies. I would say it's up there. The comedy hit for me. I thought the comedy was really good. I was laughing.
And we got some like real curse words out of Nick Fury too.
Yeah, we did.
We
did.
Those moments were really fun.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought it was really good. But I'm gonna give it a minus.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really, really good. And I look forward to whatever's coming next. Who knows what's coming next?
So do
though.
I.
This is
we don't know.
This is the end of the Marvel universe as we know it.
This is the end of what? Phase 4?
Phase 3.
Or Phase 3, yeah. Now we're heading into Phase 4.
Yeah, but I don't think it set up Phase 4 like people thought it was going to.
No, it didn't at all.
I don't think so at all.
I don't know where it's going either. But that's okay. We'll take a few years off. Let DC build up. They got a few coming out. Hey, come on now.
We're excited about that. We're excited about that.
Because we got James Gunn directing Suicide Squad 2. Give it a chance.
We do.
Yeah,
I'm going to. I'm going to. But yeah, it's DC's time. Time to shine. The king is down.
Alrighty. Well, that was a fun episode. This is, the Have You Seen It podcast. Here we go. Now I got to get into the...
We just got to record this at some point.
I know we do. At some point, we just got to throw it at the end.
You
guys can find us on YouTube. Type in Have You Seen It? Have You Seen It podcast. We are the Angry Popcorn Guy in the director's chair. Go to channel. You'll find us there. You can find us on audio formats on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and our podcast. That's it. That wraps us up. Let us know what you thought about the film, too. Leave comments below. Did you like Spider-Man? Did you love it as much as us? What did you think about Jake Gyllenhaal? Do you like Tom Holland? All those questions. Answer them in the comments section. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Kraus. And until next time.
Bye.